sponsor reads or anything like that?
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, I'll do it for you. You give me the hay.
Welcome to Roncalli Royals Baseball on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Marian University, McDonald's, Steve's Flowers and Gifts, Beck Service Center, Ortho Indy, Chick-fil-A, Harding Poorman Group, Glander Rochford Orthodontics, and the Roncalli High School Alumni Association. And now let's go to the booth and join the voice of the Royals, Rob Brown.
Once again on the puck this evening.
And a pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to Roncalli Royals Baseball here on the Roncalli Media Network. Rob Brown and Matt Donovan with you tonight at La Pinta Field on the campus of Roncalli High School. Circle City Conference action for you as the 15-6 Roncalli Royals take on the 9-15 Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles on the back end of a two-game series in which the Royals won 4-2 last night up on the north side to clinch their third straight Circle City Conference title. Let's take a quickly at the look at the lineups for tonight. Braden Reel, he'll lead off for Guerin Catholic, play first base. Will Fremian's at second base, he bats second. Clay Patton hits third, plays third base. Adam Novellin hits fourth, he'll play center field. Davis Wagner, the freshman, is on the mound hitting fifth. Anthony Ferrucci, the sophomore shortstop, hits sixth. Aiden Morrison, right field, batting seventh. Sam Tabor is the designated hitter, he hits eighth. And Josh Scaff is the left fielder, batting ninth. Defensively for the Royals, usuals in the outfield. Ryan Henry, who was the starter and the winning pitcher last night, he's in left. Johnny Rader in center field. Joey Milto in right field. Infield, Dylan Craig at third base. Cole Beckman at short. Andrew Baugh at second. Ben Keeney at first base. Dominic Brown, the senior, behind the plate. And on the mound, the sophomore, Tanner Hudspeth, the right-hander, getting his seventh start. All six of his appearances prior to tonight have been starts. He leads the team with 4 wins. He's 4-1 with a 1.18 ERA, 29 2/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 16 runs, but just 5 earned, 31 hits, 36 strikeouts, and 10 walks. And again, the Royals clinching the conference championship, the third straight with the win last night. They're now 8-0 with 2 games remaining in the conference.
Leading off for the Golden Eagles.
Guerin Catholic 4-5 in the conference, 9-15 overall. Braden Reel leads us off. He's a junior, and he hits from the right side. We welcome in Matt Donovan. 63 degrees our game time temperature. Breeze coming in to the press box, so coming in out of the northeast. So blowing in from right center field, 11 to 15 mile an hour gusts.
You know, Rob, the great public address announcer for the Cubs would be telling you the first pitch is at 5:27.
And it's hammered into left center field. Real first pitch swinging, and it one hops the fence. He's got a stand-up double.
Stand-up double.
Real basically got on that one. He drove it right in the gap. Great hit to start.
He was not waiting at least
not one bit.
Playing second base, Will Fremian.
So Will Fremian stands in. Fremian, the sophomore, second baseman. So Real had to shed his armor that he was wearing at the plate.
Big kid out at second base. Would be interested to see if they go small ball, try to move him over to third to try to at least get something on the board quickly.
So I was distracted by that ball that Real pounded into the gap. What was our start time? 5:20.
5:27.
5:27. Okay, There we go.
Public address announcer Sandy from Wrigley Field would give you that call.
Well, they've brought play to a halt. There's a Guerin player down in the batting cage, down past the right field corner. Appears to have suffered some sort of injury. And Mike Somm, the Roncalli athletic trainer, heading down that way. Double timing his way down to the right field corner, and I think they're going to wait and make sure that medical attention is on the way, and Mike Somm we see heading down that direction. So I think now we're set and ready to go. And our look in from the center field camera, right down the chute at Tanner Hudspeth. So Real with the leadoff double to left center field. Start this ball game, first pitch. And Fremian lays down a bunt. Roncalli was playing back. Hudspeth, there'll be no play.
It was a beautiful bunt. He made the pitcher get off the mound, go get it, and
New
obviously
batter,
forced the guys
34,
into scoring position. Great position on the bunt.
So Guerin jumping out. Last night was a close one, 4-2 Roncalli winning. It was a tie game going into the top of the sixth. Roncalli got a RBI single by Johnny Rader, who had a couple hits. That gave Roncalli the lead, and then they added a run in the seventh on a Cole Beckman triple and a Joey Milto sacrifice fly, but the Golden Eagles have him at the corners here. For Clay Patton, nobody out. Patton, a junior, lifts this one into center field. Rader was playing shallow, now goes back on it. One hand's the catch, but that's certainly deep enough to bring Real home with the sacrifice fly in the game's first run.
3 pitches, 3 really aggressive attempts at the plate.
Sacrifice
The sacrifice
fly
fly,
is
I mean, he
run.
obviously got under, drove it right into the center field, and
Right,
really
the
Rader
Golden
really
Eagle
had
with
no
29.
choice other than to bring it in. But 3 pitches, their batters have been aggressive.
29 out of 9.
Does Guerin have some sort of lunch, dinner plans? Their first pitch swinging?
I'll tell you what, Bob Gibson would be all over these guys because they are on top of the plate, to their credit.
Throw over. And Fremion is back diving on his stomach. Benkini holds him over at first. This is the 3rd game in 3 nights for the Royals. Winning at Franklin 11-4 on Monday night, and we mentioned the 4-2 win last night.
It will be interesting to see if any of the wind or that we are here, obviously facing, has any kind of effect.
Well, it's very rare that the wind blows in here. Usually it blows out to right center coming out of the west, but it's coming in from the northeast today. Pitch out away a ball.
Tanner likes to throw the fastball. Does a nice job. He obviously had some juice on it, got it up. You know, you're always hoping that somebody would bite on a high fastball, but he certainly has good pop in it so far.
Throws over. Good to see his dad, Patrick, who had knee replacement surgery on Monday, Roncalli's pitching coach. He's down in the dugout today.
Certainly didn't want to miss the opportunity, did he? Huh? He obviously had that on his to-do list for today.
He had the work done, the surgery on Monday, and talking to the coaching staff, they had to talk him out of going up to Guerin last night.
Holy moly.
But he's here today. Good to see him.
Great
Off-speed
pitch.
drops in for a strike. He's moving gingerly, as you would expect, but spirits are up.
I'm sure his rehab doctor really probably signed off on that.
That
Really
may have been kept under wraps.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That
You know,
pitch
he tried to
just
come back
misses.
with a good high fastball pitch, see if he would go after it. He's actually doing a really nice job of painting that top part early.
So Guerin leads 1-0, 1 out.
He is clearly concerned about them playing small ball and trying to steal or trying to advance into kind of scoring position.
Yep. 1-0 our score here in the top of the first. 1 out in the inning. Pitch, runner goes. Brown up out of his crouch, double pumped on the throw, and it goes into center field.
I'm not sure if Brown thought eat it or what, but he obviously let it fly, and that went way on the second base side. Got to obviously think that's got to be a throwing error as well.
Well, I think he's safe either way,
Correct.
but I think maybe the hesitation was due to the fact that there was no one there to cover the bag.
Good point.
He
Yeah.
popped up, and the pitch was outside, so it was a good pitch to throw on.
Right.
But there was no one down covering the bag, and I think that's what caused Dom's hesitation. That pitch poured in at the knees for a strike, and the count goes full.
And it was a good pitch in a situation like that. He wanted to hit the corner. He hit the corner, forcing, the Guerin Catholic hitter to kind of then think, okay, I got to go that way.
Pitch,
Great
swing and a
pitch.
miss. Off-speed pitch. He took something off, and that's the second strikeout of the inning, or second strikeout, first strikeout of the game, second out of the inning.
Davis Wagner.
Here's Davis Wagner. Hits from the right side. He's a freshman pitcher, good size. Big kid for a freshman. 6'1". Actually, Guerin, one of the few schools that puts heights and weights on the baseball roster.
I would say so, and rarely do you see the pitcher in the fourth spot.
Two outs, 1 run in. here in the top of the first. Hudspeth trying to get out of this inning with minimal damage. Breaks off a curve there on the inside
Great
corner for a
pitch to
strike.
start it. You know, you always would watch guys like Maddox. Always wanted to be ahead of the batter as much as you possibly can. And in a situation like this, great first pitch. He's got to come with something to kind of confuse the batter as much as possible.
Looks back at second, and fastball in the outside corner is a strike. Now he's ahead 0-2.
And I was hoping he'd throw that pitch, and he did. Now, if he can really throw that off-speed pitch again, he'd be in great shape.
0-2 count to his opposite number, the freshman pitcher Wagner. 2 outs and a run in here in the top of the first. Hudspeth delivers. Ooh, Brown.
Ooh.
Brown was out and ready to head to the dugout. He thought that was strike 3, but it's ruled away.
I think Dom had the old Jody Davis idea. You know, I'm going to get up and get a quick run to the dugout as
If I
fast
take
as
3
possible.
steps to the dugout,
Yeah.
I'm going to get that call. Instead, it's 1-2.
Let's hope that doesn't come back to haunt Dom throughout the game.
Pitch. Runner goes.
Great,
Off-speed pitch.
great.
He swings through it. And that's the inning. Second strikeout of the inning for Hudspeth. In the inning, however, the Golden Eagles get 2 hits and a
Hudspeth
run.
gets 2 strikeouts.
Strand 1.
But
We're
the
through a
Golden
half
Eagles
inning.
strike early
Guerin
with a
Catholic
stand-up
leads
double.
1-0.
Take a
Royals will
1-0
take their
lead
first
in the
crack
bottom
when we
of the
come back on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
We're so thrilled to have Peyton Manning's name on our children's hospital. But we are a hospital designed for kids.
And then the halfback went in motion and then ran a slant route across the middle. Try to get a linebacker isolated on him. I like this beat. It's nice. Give me some more bass. A little more bass here. These are nice. Wish they had them at the adult hospital next door. They ought to make this giraffe green.
That's crazy.
Might be right. Let's go red right, scat right, 585, wide drag. On two. Ready? Break. Nice ride. Y'all have these in blue? Can you hear this?
There's only one Peyton Manning Children's Hospital, offering world-class compassionate care for your child. Schedule primary, ER, or specialist care online.
Thanks, Peyton. We've got this.
Oh, okay. That's where they go.
Tanner Hudspeth, Johnny Rader, who's been red hot, 11 of his last 18. He's in center field. He hits 5th. Dylan Craig's at third base, batting 6th. Ryan Henry, last night's starter and winner, he's in left field, hitting 7th. Braden Spizzelli, the DH, hits 8th. And Andrew Baugh is at second base, hitting 9th. Defensively for the Golden Eagles, Schaff, Novellin, and Morse in the outfield left to right. Patton and Ferrucci on the left side of the infield. Fremillon and Reel on the right side. Dorsey's behind the plate. And on the mound, the freshman, Davis Wagner. Here's Cole Beckman standing in. Cole hitting .333, 20 out of 60. 3 home runs, second on the team with 20 RBIs. And he nubs that first pitch to third base. Nice play, charging third baseman. Patton throws it across the diamond for the out, one away.
That was a good reaction by Patton. He jumped on it and actually transferred the ball beautifully, got it to first base.
Your batter, number 11.
Good play defensively.
Joey Milto.
Joey Milto hits from the left side, one of 2 left-hand hitters in the order today, hitting .305, 18 out of 59. Leads the team with 22 knocked in, a couple of home runs. First pitch, right on the outside corner, a strike.
Wagner has a really interesting delivery. He obviously shows it, then puts it down by the side, and then brings it over the top a little bit. Be interested to see if people can pick up on it.
That pitch taken outside corner, same spot, same result, strike 2. And he's, we mentioned he's a freshman, listed at 6'1", 165. You got to think he's going to fill out some more.
He is a dream for a strength and conditioning program.
Milto fists this one high in the air. It's in foul territory. Patton makes the catch to the right of the bag of third base, and there's 2 away.
Your batter, number 1, Dominic Brown.
Here's Dominic Brown, senior, hitting .316 on the year, 18 out of 57. Homer and 11 knocked in. Only college baseball commit on this roster. We're going to play at UIndy next year.
Like hearing that.
Pitch 1 hops the plate, ball 1.
Dom did a nice job. You could tell he was eager to swing the bat, held back. was patient. He clearly feels like he wants to start something and make something happen.
Lines this one the other way, and it gets by the right fielder and will roll to the fence, short of the fence. Dom's got at least 2, probably 3. Takes the big turn, and he will be in standing up as Aaron Kroll gives him the stop sign. Stand-up triple for Brown, his 3rd triple of the season.
That's a perfect hit. He lined it right down the right field line. Obviously, the right fielder was shading over. Rarely do you see a person go the opposite direction. And his speed, easy stand-up third base.
Yeah, the right fielder, he made the go for broke play decision over there to lay out.
Yeah.
And once it got by him, Brown had an easy double and a triple. Here's Hudspeth.
Never
Tanner
in a
hitting
million
250
years.
on the year.
Sorry, never in a million years see the 2 pitchers both in the 4 spots.
Yes. Hudspeth hitting 250. But the top 3 hitters for Roncalli, Beckman, Milto, and Brown, all hitting over 315. And you've got Henry and Johnny Rader, who have each raised their batting averages over 100 points in the last 3 weeks.
Tough thing to do.
You got those 5 guys all locked in at the plate heading into the postseason. Roncalli might have a run in them.
How many guys do you see on a roster, even MLB or even college, where you have 3 or 4 guys over 300? That's pretty rare.
Yeah. And, you know, Rader's hitting 351. He was hitting 240 3 weeks ago. Henry's, like we said, he's raised his average over 100 points. He's almost at 300. He's at 293. He was under 200 just 2.5 weeks ago. So Hudspeth's ahead in the count, 2-0, 2 outs.
Hudspeth really needs to help himself here. Just be patient, try to see what he's going to give you. Try to see if you can push the guy through from third.
Chops that one off the fist into the fence, the netting behind the plate.
Tanner had, he clearly looked like he had a stake in front of him. He was definitely going to go all aggressive on that swing.
Plays first base when he's not on the mound. He's been in the lineup every day this season. This game number 22 for the Royals, 15-6 the record. Goes the other way, hits it right at the right fielder though. He had it perfectly positioned and he one-hand catches it for the final out in the inning. So in the inning, the Royals get an extra base hit, triple from Don Brown, but he's stranded. We're through 1 inning of play. Beck Service Center scoreboard reads, Guerin Catholic 1, Roncalli nothing. Back in 30 seconds with inning number 2 on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
Do life, not laundry. Milto Cleaners.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, you can get pre-approved and streamline the vehicle buying process. It's fast, free, and it will take you down a quicker road to the car of your dreams. Visit imcu.com for more information.
That's Matt Donovan. I'm Rob Brown. Happy you've chosen to spend part of your Friday your Wednesday afternoon with us. I'm already ahead of myself.
Weekend's almost here.
Weekend's almost here. Normally, if I'm working with a non-student, an adult, if you will, I might toss out their college of origin, but I'm afraid if I said alongside the Western Illinois Leatherneck, Matt Donovan, people might think I was calling you a name.
That's true. The proud Leatherneck obviously has to, support the heritage and the institution.
You want to give a little background on that? On that Western Illinois University Leatherneck
The
nickname?
Leathernecks, we were a big military ROTC school and kept the name Leatherneck. I won a bet one time when somebody said, I bet you can't name the nickname, and I won. And I know you'll be surprised. I went big time on it.
It's in beautiful Macomb, Illinois.
A destination for everybody, I can tell you that.
Where is that located for those uninitiated?
It's about an hour and a half west of Peoria, about an hour and a half north of Quincy, and about an hour and a half south of the fine Quad Cities, which was once home to the Quad City Thunder.
No, well, Here's Anthony Ferrucci, the sophomore shortstop, hits from the right side, takes a first pitch strike, chops this one wide of the bag at third and foul.
You have to give Guerin credit. They have come to the plate and they are being aggressive. And at the same point in time, they are really moving the ball around from a hitting position.
Yeah, they did not ride 55 plus minutes to the south side to not swing the bat.
Not at all. And they're making good swings. That's the other thing.
0-2 count. Pitch out and away, and Brown with a nice block.
Dom did a nice job of sliding. You see a lot of guys just using the old grab motion. Good move by him to get his body over.
1-2 the count. Pitch away a ball. It's 2-2.
Tanner's trying to, you can tell he's trying to cut that corner, and obviously the umpire's been giving it to him. No reason not to. Let's see if he can try to either throw the off speed or the fastball.
2-2 count. Ferrucci leading off this top of the second. That pitch above, right at the letters, a little out of the zone, and the count goes full.
Dom tried to give it to him. He tried to give him a good position so he could obviously get it. Unfortunately, just a little high.
That pitch is low, and Ferrucci works the leadoff walk.
Your batter, number 15, Aiden Morse.
Here's Aiden Morse, junior. There's only 5 seniors on this entire Guerin Catholic roster. Morse, a junior, playing right field today. Hits from the right side.
We'll see how much Guerin plays small ball again and tries to jump to at least move him to second.
That pitch outside, missing. Ferrucci down at first base was the point guard on their JV basketball team on the roster for the varsity. They had a nice tournament run all the way to the semi-state this past winter.
He's got a nice lead, Rob.
Shows bunt.
And
they throw behind him, and he's back diving.
Great idea by Don Brown.
1-1 the count.
He obviously, it was a good call. He wanted to keep him honest. Make him know that they're not afraid to snap throw down there.
Guerin Catholic baseball team losing to the eventual state champion Silver Creek in the semi-state. A great season. That pitch gets away. Wild pitch back to the screen. And Ferrucci heads down to second. So, wild pitch charge to Hudspeth. Ferrucci down at second. Nobody out here in the top of the second. Guerin Catholic leading.
Hudspeth really, you could tell he wanted to hit the corner. Unfortunately, just overcooked it a little bit and, put Dom in a hard position to get over there and try to block it.
2-1 to the hitter, Aiden Morse. Pitch. Foul back to the screen, just got a piece. Guerin Catholic in the white pants, black tops, good looking tops, black tops, white numerals with the gold trim.
Tell you what, Morris, if he had not bailed from his front foot, would have had some serious contact on that last pitch.
Two. Catches the outside corner for strike 3.
What a great pitch. The umpire was a little late in giving
yes,
him the call, so you're kind of sitting there going, what is it?
Your batter, number
Third
14,
strikeout of the game for Hudspeth.
Timber.
Guerin Catholic with those good-looking black tops, the purple GC on the right shoulder, the gold cross on the left shoulder, and Guerin Catholic across the chest, and kind of a angling up white script.
Looks like a little San Francisco Giants, a little Pirates kind of look a little bit.
And as we've talked, Matt, you know how much time I spend listening to Major League Baseball broadcasts on the radio. Pat Hughes, when he describes the uniforms, that is a sponsored element in the Cubs broadcast, I believe by a paint company. He gets very vivid with his description.
Pat loves to basically make everyone aware who, what,
Bunt
where,
is
when,
popped
why.
up, and Hudspeth has to field it. Long throw, and he got him.
That's
nice
a great play.
He thought for a second to see about letting it roll foul when it was apparent it was not going to. He fired down to first for the out. That moves Ferrucci over to third.
Batter number 33, Josh.
Give Tanner
But
credit.
Josh Schaff
Rob.
stands in with 2 outs.
He really got to that ball as quick as he possibly could coming off the mound, and it was a great turn and a snap, quick throw to first base. Big out in that situation for them.
And that pitch sailed in, and it's almost like Tabor didn't want to bunt it.
I almost thought he was going to hit him on the hands.
Yeah. It wasn't like he had it squared up and got good contact on it. He was trying to get out of the way or not have it hit his hands. But it got the job done, got Ferrucci over to third. Here's Josh Schaff.
Okay, when you watch Schaff,
Senior
he
catcher.
reminds you of Gary Matthews when he played for those years with the Cubs and the Phillies. The way he twirls that bat and lifts that front leg.
All his weight's on his back leg. He swings through that when he's behind 0-2.
You know, if Josh hits, I'm going to be curious if he dumps his helmet like Gary Matthews always did.
The Sarge.
The Sarge. And just had such emotion running down to the first base line to get there.
Swing and a miss. He got him.
Great pitch.
4th strikeout of the game for Hudspeth. He gets 2 in the inning. No runs, no hits. Leadoff walk is stranded for the Golden Eagles. We're through 1.5. Roncalli trailing Guerin Catholic 1-0 on our Beck Service Center scoreboard. Back with the bottom of the second after this on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
Every day we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
Rob Brown, Matt Donovan, back with you on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network. We move to the bottom of the second. Roncalli trailing Guerin Catholic 1-0. Royals winning their 3rd consecutive Circle City Conference Championship last night, clinching that with the 4-2 win over Guerin Catholic up on the north side. Clinching no worse than a tie. Brebeuf beating Heritage Christian 7-1 in 9 innings last night. That improved Brebeuf's record to 7-2. So conceivably, Roncalli could lose the final 2 games, lose here, and then lose the makeup game against Chittard, and they could both get to 8-2. But Roncalli, by way of sweeping Brebeuf back in mid-April, winning the tiebreak, so that was the clincher to win the league last night. Johnny Rader stands in to lead off this bottom of the second for the Royals. Johnny, a junior, hitting .351, a team best. We mentioned he's 11 of his last 18 in the last 7 games. And that
was easy.
Off-speed pitch hits him in the shoulder. First pitch, so Roncalli gets a leadoff runner, much like the Golden Eagles did in the top of the second.
Number 9, Dylan.
Here's Dylan Craig, the senior, hitting .200 on the year. 8 out of 40. Nice to hear that the walk-up songs are back tonight, and I don't recognize any one of them.
That'd make 2 of us. I'm not sure Mel Allen would approve of those.
We'll see if Aaron Kroll opts to put Rader in motion. Johnny 2 out of 2 in stolen bases. The Royals as a team this year are 46 out of 50. It's a pretty good percentage.
I would say so. And the interesting thing is you can see the second baseman for Guerin was creeping like there was something that was going to occur. If obviously Craig could push it to the right field, right second base area, that's easy. Walk to third for Johnny Rader.
Craig hits from the right side. That pitch is outside a ball. Well, as we are wont to do, we'll touch on all sorts of pop culture items, celebrity birthdays, this day in history, and I think appropriate to start tonight on that topic with a non-baseball item. That pitch is in the dirt, gets away from the catcher, and Rader heads down to second.
Good jump by Rader. He took off, didn't look back, and he was in easily.
We'll see how that gets scored. Is that a stolen base, you think?
Definitely a stolen base. The issue there is the way the pitch came in and hopped off the catcher. A little bit could be a wild pitch too, but you definitely have to give it to him. Even if it was a good pitch, I think Rader would have it.
Got the deluxe hot dogs nights will stop by.
So the head coach making a quick trip out to the mound. That's Tony Meyer in his second season. Taking a trip out to talk to his pitcher. He was, as soon as I could look down and look back up, he was there and gone, back to the dugout. So Craig steps back in up 2-0.
Somewhat of a shift. Interesting.
Takes that for a strike. Infield is in at the corners, even with the bag.
Love to see Dylan just get one kind of on the right side, which would make it easy to put Rader at third base. He needs to be aggressive here.
Chops it right to shortstop. Rader was going on the pitch. He'll get to third, and across the diamond, Ferrucci retires Craig. So Craig gets the job done, moves Rader over to third base in scoring position with one away for Ryan Henry.
I tell you what, Reel made a wonderful throw over to third to keep Rader honest. Thankfully, Rader didn't make that turn too wide or he had been in jail.
Here's Ryan Henry, the other left-hand hitter in the lineup. Ryan hitting .293 on the year.
Henry has the old John Olerud stance.
Yes, he does.
You know?
Yes, he does. The old former Blue Jay.
Yep.
And
great position in
Seattle
the batter's
Mariner.
box, yeah. It's a great hitter.
And was a tremendous pitcher in college at Washington State. Was a two-way player, pitched and played first base. So we're going to talk about many things tonight, this day of in history, but Henry calls time down 0-2. I think it's appropriate tonight, given what's going on downtown Indianapolis, the celebration of life for Slick Leonard at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. On this date in 1973, the Pacers won their third and final ABA title.
I wonder if they're going to bring back Slick's plaid jacket.
Henry takes strike three at the knees. That's second out of the inning. First strikeout of the game for Wagner. They should.
Your batter, number 23, Braden.
Here's Braden Spizzelli, hitting .226 on the year, 7 out of 31, 4 knocked in. Rader down at third base.
Sorry, Rob. How many people of the old Pacers obviously take part in that?
I think most of them will be there. Certainly of the retired jerseys, two of the three ABA players have passed on, Mel Daniels and Roger Brown. George McGinnis certainly will be there.
And you know Slick was such a good friend to old Larry Joe.
Oh, no question. Spizzelli fouls this one off the end of the bat down the right side and out of play. So on this day, 1973, May 12th, the Pacers won their third ABA title. The Pacers won all three of their ABA titles on the road, clinched all three on the road.
Was that against Kentucky?
It was Game 7 at Freedom Hall, 88-81. Pacer win in front of 16,597 at Freedom Hall in Louisville. George McGinnis was the high scorer that night with 27. Same result. Spizzelli sprays this one down the right side and out of play.
If Braden could get a tad quicker, he's going to do some damage because he's eyeing it up. He's just a little late.
Rader the tying run. Roncalli trailing 1-0 early here, bottom of the second. Rader down at third base with 2 outs. Spizzelli trying to bring him home and tie the game up. Here's the pitch, 1-2. And this is grounded into the hole, but third baseman comes over Patton Fields across the diamond for the out. And Wagner works his way out of a leadoff hit by pitch to strand Rader at third and hold the Royals at bay. In the inning, Roncalli strands a run, no hits. We head to the top of the third. Guerin Catholic leading this game 1-0 on the Beck's board. We're back with inning number 3. Up next on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network. Trailing Guerin Catholic 1-0. This is our final scheduled. Certainly we'll have the athletics program later on tonight, the concerts, baccalaureate and graduation next week. But as far as athletics and video productions go, this is our final one of the school year. Hard to believe. We've done over 60. Great crew with us tonight. Ashley Geyer handling things, our director. Max Mendel's our producer. Lauren Boone handling the graphics. Cooley as you like, as she always does. Nathan Lyles handling our camera. Behind the screen on top of the third base dugout so he doesn't get smoked.
He better not get sleepy or he's a dead duck.
Braden Reel, top of the order. He doubled on the first pitch he saw tonight and scored the game's only run. Leadoff hitter, first baseman. Junior. Starting off inning number 3. That pitch high ball.
Reel has really good composure in the batter's box. He obviously just, you could tell he's really aggressive, and at the same point in time, he really wants to put the ball in play.
Hits this one in the right center field. Rader will have a long run, and it's over his head. This one hops the fence. Rader picks it up at the base of the fence. Reel wants to head to 3. The cutoff man can't get the throws. It sails over his head, and Reel's got a sliding triple. Second extra base hit.
Tell you what, when Reel got
Reel.
the second, he knew where he was going, and at the same point in time, never looked back and was on his horse. You have to give him credit. He's a fundamentally sound baseball player.
Well, to your point, two-thirds of the way to second base, he picked up where the ball was and saw that Rader was still trying to fish it off the base of the fence. And, yeah, that's where he made up his mind. He was going 3.
And Tanner actually had a little bit of the pitch was a little bit high, but the thing for Reel is he jumped on it and drove it. He drove it into the gap and between center and right. But fundamentally, his running the bases was a huge help for Guerin.
Here's the sophomore second baseman, Will Fremian. Had a bunt single his first time up. Takes a pitch outside a ball. I've got 2 baseball birthdays for you today. One of them, big-time player. The other one is a little more obscure.
All right. Good pitch by Tanner.
That's a strike, 1-1. The big-time player, quote-unquote, Lou Whitaker.
Oh, yeah.
Who
Detroit,
some people argue should be a Hall of Famer.
Without question. He was a great second baseman for the Tigers.
His double play partner, Alan Trammell, was in.
Trammell, yeah.
That pitch in the dirt a ball. But Lou Whitaker turned 64 today, 19 years, all with the Tigers, 2,300-plus hits, 5-time All-Star, and was the 1978 Rookie of the Year.
When you think about that, how many guys stayed with one team? Then that's post
Swing and a miss. Yes. Yep. They both came up in 1978. Whitaker and Trammell. And Trammell played for the Tigers as well.
Yeah.
They played together. They both played.
They were really the start of that short second base combination that you see a lot today. You know, when the Cubs had Russell and Baez, and then obviously you see other teams, you know, having that strong up the middle defense. But those two were phenomenal.
Full count pitch to Fremian. He swings and misses on a pitch tailing away. Good strikeout by Hudspeth, his 5th of the game.
I tell you what, Hudspeth has done a really nice job of when he gets into the situations, he battles back. He finds locations and really, almost like a bulldog approach, really gets at it.
And you just expect that to even continue more as he's only a sophomore, youngest pitcher on the staff. This pitch is high. First pitch to Clay Patton, who sacrificed fly to center field. He drove in what is thus far the game's only run.
And when you watch Tanner pitch, he is way over on the end of that mound on the rubber.
To the first base side, yep.
Yeah.
Pours one in there on the corner to even it at 1. Speaking of birthdays, we got word during the break, during the between the half innings, that Roncalli's bench coach, our guy Mark Pieper, celebrating a birthday today.
21?
21 plus.
Okay.
Yeah. That pitch missing away. I've known Peeps a long time, going back to, mid to late 80s.
Along with the Coach Springer in the Southport days.
Yep. Going way back. That pitch, he checked the swing, but it was a strike anyway, and the count evens at 2-2 to Clay Patton.
I will say this, Patton has some nice stirrups. Reel needs to get some of those down at third base.
I'm a big fan of the stirrups.
Absolutely. Patton needs to kind of stay in. He bails out too much a little bit.
Checked his swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Strike 3. That's strike 3.
Boy, I tell you, this will be huge if you're Roncalli. You obviously let somebody get on all the way to third. You battled back. You're now in a 2-out situation. You have to really give Tanner some credit in that aspect.
Here's the junior left fielder, Adam Novell, and he's struck out in his first time up. So Hudspeth 1 out away from getting out of this jam after Real led the inning off with a triple. Swing and a miss. That pitch dropped right off the table in the zone.
Adam has kind of that Walt Reniak swing. You remember that?
Oh, yeah,
the helicopter
absolutely.
approach.
Yeah, Walt Reniak. Well, that's a callback.
Mm-hmm.
Got a piece there to foul it back, and Hudspeth ahead in the count 0-2.
You have to love the hockey-style catcher's mask. You know, when a ball comes off and it hits them like that, it's just like somebody just barely taps them. You know, the old-style mask, you get hit in the face, you'd feel like you had a concussion immediately.
The flap hanging down, the Steve
Lord.
Yeager flap.
Absolutely.
0-2 pitch here to Novellen. 2 outs, runner at third. Pitch high. Hudspeth really wanted that one, and he left it out. 1-2.
Hudspeth truly wanted to stay away. You know, try to hit the outside with a little bit of maybe a corner action. He's really trying to go back to that again.
Looked for the corner at the belt and missed it out. Count evens 2-2. 2 outs. Top of the third. Guerin Catholic leading 1-0. Runner down at third base. Pitch. Ooh, just got a piece, did Novellen. The only left-handed hitter in this lineup today for the Golden Eagles. Sent that one back to the screen. We'll try it again with a 2-2 count.
Love to see him throw the off-speed pitch here. Just to at least try to fool him to think that he's going to try to go to the outside corner again.
Pitch. Oh, and he poured it in right on the outside corner.
There you go.
So after the leadoff triple, Hudspeth comes back and strikes out the side. The last one looking, the first 2 swinging in the inning. Golden Eagles get a triple, strand the runner as Hudspeth works his way out. We head to the bottom of the third with Guerin Catholic leading 1-0. Bottom of the third coming up next on the Ascent to St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
To ensure vibrant and long-lasting life, Jack's flowers are always freshly cut and chilled. They consistently offer quality and beauty in each hand-picked arrangement that leaves their shop. Visit them at 2636 Southeast Street or call 784-1614 to order your arrangement today.
That's Matt Donovan. I'm Rob Brown. Jason Sims with us, keeping track of things on the board in the PA. Up here in the La Pinta Field press box. Beautiful spring early evening on the south side of Indianapolis. Bottom of the third, Roncalli trailing 1-0. We mentioned baseball birthdays. We're talking about Tiger great Lou Whitaker in the top of the third. The other baseball birthday they have is a little more obscure. Pat Darcy turning 71 today. Pat Darcy pitched just 3 years in the big leagues, mid-70s for the Reds as a mop-up starter, kind of long relief guy. But Pat Darcy and Andrew Baugh, clean single into left field. First pitch swinging, the number 9 hitter. Big turn, and for the second straight inning, the Royals had the leadoff runner aboard. Let's see if they can capitalize. Back to the top of the order, here's Cole Beckman. He grounded to third his first time up. Pat Darcy was on the pitching end of one of the most famous home runs in baseball history. He threw the pitch to Carlton Fisk in Game 6 of the 1975 World Series,
Where
Fisk won in the bottom of the 12th.
Yep. Off the foul pole in Fenway Park.
Yep. Pat Darcy was the pitcher in that confrontation. Birthday number 71 today.
Great story related to that. When everybody sees the picture of Fisk, motioning the ball, the old story is the camera guy let go of the camera because a mouse under the scoreboard was pretty much chasing him, and he just let it go.
Yes. That pitch fouled into the screen. Yeah, he was in the scoreboard at Fenway Park in the Green Monster in left field, shooting out of one of the holes on the batter, and he had the camera on Fisk. And yeah, I heard it as that he saw a rat and froze.
Yeah.
And
Needless to say, he didn't
shot.
have his hands on the camera. He let it go, from my
Yep.
understanding. I'm
Yep.
sure the folks in Fenway love to hear that relative to any type of rat control issues
Yes,
that they may
exactly.
have. Always what you want to hear in a major league ballpark. Kind of like when the Cubs, redid the outfield and put their bullpens.
Oh, yeah.
They had a little bit of a rat issue in the neighborhood. I'm sure Chicago loves to tell everybody about that story, too.
The old days when the bullpens used to be down the foul lines at Wrigley. 2-1 count to Beckman here in the bottom of the third. Roncalli trailing 1-0. Leadoff runner Ball is aboard at first. On the line, single to left. Beckman late on this one, fouls it down the right side, now to play.
Really, do you see? It's a shame we don't see it in MLB anymore, where the catcher had to go out and be protection for the bullpen warm-up.
Oh yeah, the back. Yeah, you got like the starting pitcher 3 days in advance throws on a helmet and heads down to the foul line with a glove.
Or how close they were to the benches, so that security had to go down there and stand with them.
Oh yeah. Oh, the ball is picked off. That tag came on the hip, and Ball is picked off. He got caught leaning.
He got caught leaning, and it was a good throw over. I mean, Davis Wagner just quick turned, and he had him.
Yep. So now the bases are empty and one away. That pitch to Beckman in the dirt. See what the count is here. I think 3-1. 3-2. 3-2 count to Beckman.
Clearly, Baugh had a moment where he felt like he was going to jump, and it did not anticipate Davis Wagner throwing over there, and it was a good move.
Full count pitch. Beckman hits this one on the ground, backhanded by the third baseman. A long throw, and it gets away. Beckman and jams on the brakes. Nice play by Reel to take that pitch behind the bag on one hop, and they both came to a stop. Beckman and Reel to avoid colliding. Beckman's safe. That's an infield hit.
Clay Patton, you have to give him a lot of credit and a lot of praise. He went deep over third, got it, turned as quick as he could. Obviously, the throw was off, but what he saved.
That's a double, right?
Yeah,
if
it's
he
an
doesn't
easy
get a
double.
glove on that.
It's easy double.
Because that ball was hit sharply and was rolling toward the corner. Here's Milto with one out. First pitch swinging, hits this one in the left field gap. Novella wandering over from center field makes a nice running catch.
Boy, the wind just literally pushed that ball
Yeah, it did.
into the left center.
Yeah, that ball came off of Milto's bat. It looked like it was headed for the warning track. And the wind brought it back in. The wind blowing in from right center.
I don't mean to be the devil's advocate here, but ball getting picked off really hurt.
Yeah.
Because
Beckman's over at first.
Obviously, the throw to first could have very easily taken him to third on that situation. So,
yeah, and he might have scored on that fly ball from third. That was deep enough. Beckman back on his feet at first base on the pickoff throw. Here's Don Brown. He tripled with 2 outs in the first and was stranded down at third. He has one of the 3 Roncalli hits on the afternoon. Bottom third, 2 outs. Brown got a piece of that one and sent it back to the screen.
I'll tell you what, Davis Wagner, one of the things I like, and you're going to enjoy hearing this, he reminds me of a great Red pitcher, Tom Browning.
Oh, yeah.
Never takes a lot of time, gets himself set, takes the order from the catcher, and delivers. And he just does a really nice job of not wasting a lot of time. He's always set and ready to go.
That pitch high, right at the letters of ball, 1-1. Reds fans refer to him as Mr. Perfect.
I loved watching him. I mean, as a Cub fan, and I don't like to give credit to the Reds. I know I'm saying that tongue-in-cheek. You had to love watching him pitch. Total control.
Throw over again, and Beckman's up back in standing.
I can remember watching games where Brownie was looking at the catcher like, let's go, move it along.
Well, and then last Friday night, Wade Miley of the Reds pitched a no-hitter against the Indians, and he works in a similar fashion. Very quickly. That pitch away, a ball, and it's 2-1. And you watch Red's broadcast, there's a lot of comparisons to Miley and how quickly he works and how he's ready.
As much as MLB's wanting the game to speed up, you appreciate the guys like Browning, you appreciate the guys like Miley. It keeps you engaged in the broadcast.
Pitch away a ball, and it's 3-1.
Now, I know that's tougher for Cowboy. He doesn't have a lot to talk about in between, but, you know.
Well, that was just the 5th Reds no-hitter in the last 50 years.
Really?
Yeah. Since 1970, they had just 4. That pitch outside missed the corner, and Brown works the 2-out walk. So first and second now for Tanner Hudspeth with 2 away. Tom Seaver threw his only no-hitter as a Red in 78 rather. No-hit the Cardinals, and then Browning threw the perfect game against the Dodgers in 88. And then Homer Bailey had 2 no-hitters in the span of a year and a half in 2012 and 2013. That was the last 2 Reds no-hitters by Homer Bailey until Wade Miley's no-hitter of the Indians last Friday night in Cleveland. Time called, and the catcher Dorsey heading out to talk with Wagner.
Love to see Hudspeth be patient. Davis Wagner is struggling a little bit. I can't say a lot. I mean, the last couple pitches, he obviously sailed it away a little bit. So hopefully you have some patience to make him kind of throw you some strikes.
Royals have 3 hits in the ball game, 2 here in the inning. First and second, 2 outs, bottom third. Hudspeth hits this one on the ground. It's through the hole into left field, a base hit. Beckman being sent. Here comes the throw. It is wide of the plate, and up the line comes the catcher, Dorsey, to corral the throw. But Hudspeth helps his cause with the 2-out single. He ties the game, bringing Beckman home from second. 1-1 our score.
You got to love it when a pitcher helps himself, you know. And at the same point in time, he really put it in between the hole. And you have to give Beckman credit. He was on his horse to get there quickly.
Courtesy runner heading out to run for the pitcher, Hudspeth. That is the sophomore Michael Schaefer, number 13.
Courtesy runner number 13, Michael Schaefer.
Running for Hudspeth. So those not familiar with the high school baseball rules, you can send a runner in to run for the catcher or pitcher at any time. It's a courtesy runner is the terminology.
If Rader could put the same kind of play that he had the last time, hit, you're going to get another run across.
He was hit by a pitch on the very first pitch of his first at-bat tonight, but we mentioned he's been dialed in 11 of 18 from the plate heading into today's game. In the last 7 games, he had 2 hits last night, including the go-ahead RBI single in the top of the 6th.
His feet are on the white in the batter's box.
Yes, he is as inside in the box as you can get and not be standing on the plate. Takes a strike there. Count evens 1-1.
Most guys don't get up on that plate that high. You got to give him credit.
Brown down at second. That's courtesy runner Schaefer over at first. 2 away. That pitch outside a ball, and it's 2-1.
When you see Rader and Craig, you kind of think these guys are a great linebacker core right here.
Well, Johnny Rader, it seemed like during football season we were calling either his name or Lucas Erickson's name for blowing somebody up on a special teams coverage play. Pitch taken on the edge for a strike. Or no, it's a 3-1 count?
3-1 count,
yep, yeah. That was called the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And the first baseman, Reel, comes in to talk to his pitcher, Davis Wagner, so Rader steps out of the box. Johnny ahead in the count, 3-1.
If basically if Wagner tries to throw it away, you hope that Johnny can at least not be too late, but then obviously push it down the right field line. That would be huge for Roncalli.
He's got to come to the strike zone here with a 3-ball count, and Rader can't catch up to it on the outside edge. Count goes full. 2 outs. Tanner Hudspeth's single has tied the game, bringing Cole Beckman home. 1-1 our score. Last of the third here at La Pinta Field on the campus of Roncalli High School. Time called.
Time called.
Wagner looked back at second, and Rader just given time. Cameron Cook and Jeff Tamery are umpires today.
Infield is deep for
Very
Guerin.
deep.
Very deep. which to be expected when you have obviously 2 outs, but deep.
Runners go, and that pitch is low, a ball. So Rader works the full count walk.
Your batter, number 1.
Lots of people for
Number
Guerin
9,
thought that was a
Dylan
strike.
Craig.
Yeah, including those picked up by our crowd mic just below us.
Yes.
So the bases are full. 2 outs. Here's Dylan Craig. Senior third baseman. He grounded to short in his first time up. Go ahead run down at third base. Craig with a chance to put the Royals on top for the first time tonight. Takes a pitch out and away, a ball. Rader down at first. Courtesy runner Schaefer at second. Don Brown over at third. Brown getting a walking lead down the third base line. That pitch misses the edge, and Craig's ahead 2-0.
You know, on this day in baseball, Rob, Jason Worth stole home after stealing second and third. Maybe Don Brown's got an idea. Unfortunately, we have 2 outs, but
that pitch taking a strike. I was mistaken when we spoke last night. Pete Rose did the same thing on this day in baseball yesterday, on May 11th, 1980. Rose did it when he was 38 years old against the Reds.
Clearly, Charlie Hustle was not wanting anyone to think he couldn't hustle anymore.
When it should be noted that in that day in 1980, Johnny Bench had the night off and Don Warner was behind the plate. So that may have been part of the reason why Pete Rose was running wild. 3-1. And that pitch one-hops the plate. Craig works the bases-loaded walk, and that brings Brown in with the go-ahead run.
Bases-loaded walk scores.
Third walk of the inning, and that will send
your batter,
the manager, Tony Meyer, out to have a conversation with his pitcher. And he's calling for the baseball. So a pitching change. Pitching change here after Craig works the bases-loaded walk to bring Brown in. We'll have a pitching change. There'll be a little bit of a shuffling of the deck in the lineup. So while we sort this out, we'll go ahead and take a 30-second break and come back with a new pitcher as the Royals lead 2-1 on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
Do life, not laundry. Milto Cleaners.
Well, the new pitcher for the Golden Eagles is Clay Patton. Patton, the junior, 6'1", 170-pounder. He began the game at third base, so there's been a significant shuffling of the deck here. Braden Reel, who was at first base, has now moved across the diamond to third. Aiden Morse, the right fielder, has come in to play first base. And today's starter, Davis Wagner, is now out in right field. So I think we've got that straight. So
you did well, Rob.
Thank you.
You did well.
Appreciate that. So to review, the new pitcher is Clay Patton, who began the game at third. Braden Reel has now moved from first base to third base. Aiden Morse has moved from right field to first base. And our starting pitcher, Davis Wagner, moves out to right field after going 2 2/3. Bases are loaded, and all 3 runners are his responsibility, so we can't close the books just yet on the freshman starter, Davis Wagner. Guerin Catholic's certainly hoping that Patton can retire Ryan Henry to end this inning with the Royals plating just 2, but Roncalli's grabbed the lead for the first time today. RBI single by Tanner Hudspeth put the Royals on the board, and then Johnny Rader and Dylan Craig each working walks. Craig's of the bases loaded variety earned him an RBI and brought the go-ahead run in. 2-1 our score. And here's Ryan Henry. He struck out looking in the second.
Number 12, Ryan.
Base runners Michael Schaefer, the courtesy runner who came in for Hudspeth, has now moved over to third base via the walk. Johnny Rader's down at second, and Craig's over at first. We're set to go. Clay Patton, the junior, on the mound. Right-hander. Henry hits from the left side. First pitch. Henry first pitch swinging. Hits this one off the end of the bat, and it works its way out of play and foul down the left side. Never ceases to amaze me that people will come in back here to the diamond and park their cars over there.
Man, that is just a great opportunity to talk to your insurance agent.
I will gladly take the ride on the golf cart.
Well, I'll
Henry
walk.
Again. Well, I'm carrying all the equipment.
I
though,
understand.
So, yeah.
Yes. So the
Same
golf
spot,
cart
same
comes in
result.
handy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Roncalli sophomore Gabby Goodnight gave me the ride back tonight.
That's very
She's
thoughtful.
been a unbelievable student worker here this spring. We should acknowledge Gabby's efforts. She's worked the gates for spring events. She's worked the concession stand. She's worked the concession trailer over at softball. She's been everywhere on this campus in the evenings, and she has been essential personnel
God bless
to the
her.
operation. That pitch low, a ball. Henry
really wanted to be aggressive.
Yeah, he did.
Good for him for holding off. Love the movement that Clay Patton puts on his pitches. He can move the ball around really, really well.
Henry calls time, steps out. A little dust kicked up. Got in his face. Now he's ready to go.
I feel like I'm watching Brett Favre here with Southern Miss, the way the eagle is on the hat and everything.
Yeah. That pitch tailed away on Patton. Got away, ball, 2-2.
Clearly we wouldn't see Brett Favre playing baseball, but
the black and gold, though.
Black and gold looks much like Southern Miss.
Very similar.
Yeah.
2-2 count, 2 outs, bases loaded. That one just missed the corner, and the count has gone full. Guerin fans down below us wanted that pitch. Thought it was strike 3. Now the runners will be in motion with 2 away. Pitch. Henry chops that one foul. He just barely got a piece of it and squibbed it into the fencing in front of the Guerin Catholic dugout, first base side. Try it again.
Boy, that went off his foot.
Yes,
and
he
anytime
did.
you see that go off the foot, that just screams pain. So hopefully no real lingering effect for Ryan.
Back in the box, full count, 2 outs. Bottom of the third. Royals lead 2-1.
Calling time.
Time called again.
Ryan needs some stirrups. Whoa.
That pitch on the outside edge and missed. That was a weird sequence. He called time, and then he jumped back in the batter's box. And Patton came to the plate.
Figure that out, yeah.
And the umpire let that pitch stand. It's ball 4, and that brings another run home. Schaefer comes home from third, and it's 3-1.
Number 23, Braden Spazzelli.
Have to say that was a weird sequence right there.
So that's the 4th walk in the inning. Spazzelli becomes the 9th man to come to the plate in this Roncalli at third. Pitch outside, a ball. Base is still loaded, 2 outs. So the Royals have plated 2 runs via walk to grab a 3-1 lead here in this third inning. Wind's kicked up. That pitch high, a ball, 2-0.
Patton comes across his delivery, reminds you of closer for the Phillies.
Billy Wagner? I'm going way back.
You're going way back. I'm going back to when they were in the World Series, and that's going to drive me crazy. I cannot remember.
Brad Lidge?
No,
Brad Lidge wasn't
Mitch.
there. Mitch Williams?
Mitch Williams.
Oh, the Wild Thing.
Wild
Yeah.
Things. He comes across. Pardon me for not remembering that name, but Mitch Williams, the way Patton comes across, his leg kick and delivery comes so far to, which would be our right. It's like Wild Thing.
That pitch at the knees, a strike. You went back to the early 90s Phillies. Mitch Williams was a Cub. I do not remember.
He was.
I do not remember which Mitch Williams. He started as the Cub, right?
Forgive me.
Did he start with the Cubs?
He started
did, right?
with the Cubs and went down to Texas and then came back to the Phillies.
That pitch missed outside. The catcher, Dorsey, tried to bring it back into the zone, but it's 3-1.
Basically, I was a Philadelphia resident when the Phils in 93, 94, 94?
93.
Yeah, 93 went to the World Series. Great team.
3-1 pitch. Spazzelli lifts this one into right field. Coming on is Wagner. Looking up into the sun, he makes the catch for the out. But in the inning, the Royals get 3 runs and take their first lead of the night. They get 3 hits, 4 walks, strand, the bases loaded. We're through 3. Roncalli leads this ball game 3-1 on the Beck Service Center scoreboard. Back with the 4th up next on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network. Rob Brown, Matt Donovan back with you. End of the fourth, Roncalli leads this ball game 3-1. Royals gave 3 runs in the bottom of the third. 2 runs scoring via walk. Big inning, Matt. Now we'll see how Hudspeth does pitching with a lead for the first time tonight.
You got to give credit to Tanner's teammates. They gave him a ton of time to be on the bench and kind of recoup. You know, around that last inning, you have to really give credit to Davis Wagner of Guerin. He made that catch in right field, and that sun was right in his eye.
Yeah, this time of day, that right field, sun field is brutal.
It is brutal, but he, to his credit, he lined himself up with the ball, 2 hands on it, great play.
Well, Guerin started the freshman Wagner, who's now out in right field. There's another freshman, Quinn Morrow, down and getting loose in the bullpen. Golden Eagles have hitters 5, 6, 7 due up. Wagner started the game on the mound. He's now in right field. Takes the first pitch high, a ball. That pitch on the outside corner taking a strike, 1-1. Well, we mentioned this day in baseball. We have to start 1970, right?
The great 1970. Let's see if you can remember what happened in this day.
Ernie Banks, number
500.
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Jack Brickhouse, hey, hey.
Hey, hey.
I can still see that clip against the Braves. The ball fouled back to the screen.
Wrigley Field looked like a graveyard back then.
Yes, it did.
Mm-hmm. Hit it to left field over the Braves.
The Cubs won that game, by the way, 4-3-11 over the Braves.
The interesting thing, if you look at it, for how many shortstops have hit 500 home runs?
A-Rod?
He's the only one. And a lot of people would claim that A-Rod was really, I mean, obviously he came up as a shortstop, but then moved to third.
Right. Swing and a miss. He struck out on a pitch down. That's the 8th strikeout of the game for Hudspeth. And since Reels tripled to lead off the third, Hudspeth has struck out 4 straight batters.
And great way to start the inning. Hudspeth really came with a really strong pitch there to get the third strike. Great way to start for him.
Here's Ferrucci. He walked and was stranded at third his first time up in the second inning. First pitch swinging. Hits this one into center field. Rader broke back. Now he comes in. That ball hung way up into that wind, giving Rader enough time to run in and make the catch.
Johnny Rader he deserves some credit. He went back and really closed to come back and get that fly ball. It looked like he was fooled at first, but boy, he cut down the distance quickly.
Here's Adam Morse, now at first base. Began the game in right field. He struck out looking his first time up.
You know, the other thing, when you look at Banks' 500 home run, that was early at the beginning of the season because games didn't start till, you know, obviously they started way early now, but that was the early part of the season for them.
Right. Yeah, they didn't start till mid-April.
Yeah.
None starting on March 29th.
No.
Hudspeth ahead in the count, 0-2. That ball hit way back into right field, left field rather, and that is gone. Oh my. Aiden Morse pounds that one to left field. To the left of the scoreboard and straightaway left field. That one clears the fence by about 5 feet.
And Morse basically drove that through the wind. That ball was just smoked through the wind to left field. Give him credit on that, and he drilled it.
Number 14, Sam Tabor.
3-2 the score. Here's Sam Tabor. Sacrifice bunt his first time up. Hudspeth misses high on the off-speed pitch. That's the first home run allowed by a second. Now, I beg your pardon here. Let's double-check that.
He cleared the wall. I mean, he had some distance on it, too. That's the other interesting thing. As much as the wind is really a factor here, he drilled it right through the teeth, and more importantly, he cleared the wall with some distance.
This is the third home run this season allowed by Hudspeth.
Give credit to Tanner with only 3 home runs going through a season like this right now. That's I mean, clearly you never want to give up a home run, but he's done a nice job.
2-1 count, and he evens at 2-2 as Tabor has a big cut and misses.
This is, they all say these are all big outs, but when you give up a home run, you really need this out because that gives you put it away.
Pitch away, misses. The count goes full.
Two
outs.
You don't want to give up a walk. I mean, clearly you don't want to do that. You want to obviously get a good pitch, get a good strike, or keep it in play so you can have the out and then go to the dugout.
Off the end of the bat, squib foul, out of play down the right side into the batting cage down there in the right field corner, just behind the fence.
The other aspect, too, is you don't want to waste a lot of pitches when you're in this situation. You want to minimize as many pitches as you possibly can, so you don't want to run up a lot of them here.
The ball lifted high in the air to right field. Milto started back, now drifting toward the line. The wind takes it that way, and Milto makes the grab in foul territory for the out, the final out of the inning. But in the inning, the Golden Eagles get a run on Aiden Morse's 2-out home run to left field.
With a big shot to left field.
That brings the Golden Eagles back within one. It's 3-2. Roncalli. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Coming up next on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
Steve's Flowers and Gifts is your family-owned Indianapolis and Greenwood florist.
So you think you can beat a train? Well, think again. While trains can appear to be slow-moving, they can easily cause injuries or death. You must slow down and yield at all railroad crossings. Attempting to beat the train puts yourself and others at risk. According to the Federal Railroad Administration, there were over 2,200 railroad crossing collisions in the United States last year, resulting in 293 deaths. Don't be a statistic. Look, listen, and live.
Well, alongside the pride of Peoria, Matt Donovan, Rob Brown with you tonight.
I've been called the Pope of Peoria by some colleagues here of late. How about that?
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm willing to go there, but that's...
I might want to put that on my resume and send it over to Rome. What the heck?
There you go.
Just a great game.
Rob, we're talking this day in baseball. Let's see if you can remember 1956. An Indiana native had a special day. Any idea?
Carl Erkson.
Very good.
From Anderson.
Yeah.
The harmonica player.
3-0 win over the New York Giants.
Was that at the Polo Grounds?
I have to believe it was at the Polo Grounds.
Although, when did those teams move west? It was later, right? It was 58?
I think if it was 58, maybe 60.
I think it was in the 50s, late 50s. Dodgers, of course, played at the Coliseum. If you ever seen pictures of the baseball set up at the LA Coliseum.
Yeah.
And the Giants played at Seals Stadium before Candlestick was built.
Candlestick, I had the privilege of seeing a game there. It was the windiest place I've ever been to in my life.
Andrew Ball leads off this inning. Chopped that one foul wide of the bag at third.
The next time I talk to Andrew Ball's brother, Sammy, I'm going to give credit. Andrew is very aggressive at the plate right now and a good stroke.
Takes that pitch out and away. Came into today's action with a .256 batting average.
Clearly, we want to tell Sammy we're thinking that Andrew may be, the more athletic ball. I'm sure that'll create rivalries.
I'm not going there. I'll let you tee that one up and run with it.
Yeah. Ain't nothing like starting family feuds, right?
I'm a big fan of both, but I don't know the family well enough to jump in the middle of that fray.
Yeah. Family feuds are always great, right?
I'm gonna refrain from that one.
You're gonna plead the fifth, Your Honor?
I am.
Okay. All right. I'll buy it.
Bottom of the fourth, 3-2. Roncalli leads. 3 runs for the Royals in the bottom of the third inning. That pitch out and away, a ball. It's 3-1. Golden Eagles got one back in the top of the fourth on the towering home run by Aiden Morse to left field into the wind.
Classic Carl Erskine tidbit. His teammate was?
Well, he had many teammates.
The most distinguished one of them all?
Jackie Robinson.
There you go.
Number 14.
Ball gets the leadoff walk.
Cole Beckman.
So this is the third straight inning in which the Royals had the leadoff runner on. Last inning it was Ball who got a base hit to left field on the first pitch he saw. Then he was picked off later on into Beckman's at bat. Back at the top of the order, Cole Beckman 1 for 2, singled and scored in the last inning. What other this day in baseballs do you have for us today?
Well, another good one here for you. Washington Senators pitcher Walter Johnson won his 400th game with a 7-4 win over the St. Louis. See if you can fill
St.
in
Louis Browns.
The Browns,
the American League, yeah.
Yeah, Griffith Stadium. You know, that's a shock because most Cardinals fans would think that would have been played at Sportsman's Park.
Griffith Stadium. If you ever see pictures of old Griffith Stadium, the outfield wall, it was built in the neighborhood in Washington, D.C. Beckman lines this one into the hole, into left field, a base hit.
Boy,
solid singer for Cole. Yeah, he's dialed in.
Great at-bats for Cole.
That brings ball over to second. So the Royals have it first and second, nobody out. And Joey Milto to the plate. Joey 0 for 2.
You know, they've been going back not to go away from the game. Walter Johnson is the only pitcher to ever win 400 games and have 3,500 strikeouts.
Yes, the Big Train, as his nickname was.
Never knew that.
Yes, Griffith Stadium was built in the neighborhood, and if you see an overhead shot of old Griffith Stadium, long since demolished, Milto nubs that one foul into the Roncalli dugout. There is the right center field, the fence juts in about 15 feet and then juts back out. And the reason for that is because there's a house on the other side, and the guy that owned that house would not sell his property.
That's shocking.
They built the ballpark, so they built the outfield fence around him.
Shocking.
1-1 count. Now 2-1 as that pitch is out and away.
Tell you what, he was lucky that his catcher helped him on that one. That one was almost off his mitt. Guerin's fortunate that that didn't turn into a wild pitch that would have moved him over even more.
First and second, nobody out for Roncalli here in this bottom fourth. 3-2 the score. Royals on top. Milto takes one right down the chute for a strike. It's 1-2.
It's a good pitch on the corner. Milto has to look. He's got to look for that same type of pitch with this approach. He's got to try to go to that corner, so Milto is hopefully going to cheat a little bit to put it in play.
Milto punches this one off the end of the bat, foul into the screen. See both middle infielders for Guerin Catholic kind of jockeying in behind the runner Baugh, thinking there might be a play on potentially.
Be interested to see if they stay in that set, because clearly they have really made some gaps there, especially that side of the field. Milto just needs to be aggressive in this aspect.
Reaches out, puts the bat on it. Shortstop flipped to second for one. Pump fake the throw to first. There'll be no play there. So the middle runner cut down. That's Beckman. He's out 6-4 on the force out at second. Milto aboard via the fielder's choice, and ball heads over to third with one away. Here's Alex Amadeo will hit for Dom Brown. Amadeo, the junior, hitting .250 on the year, 4 out of 16.
Milto did a nice job. You know, he pushed it over to the shortstop position, and as quick as he was, there was no, even if there would have been a throw, he would have been there easily. Nice piece of hitting for him.
Well, the Roncalli Athletics Awards Banquet is tonight, and I think Ryan Henry and Dom Brown are both being honored tonight, so they may get out of this game early. So we may say Amadeo is also the backup catcher, so we may see him stay in the game behind the plate here as we move to the fifth. But he's got a chance to push the Roncalli lead back to 2 runs. Swings through that first pitch there. 1 out, runners at the corners. Andrew Baugh down at third. Joey Milto over at first. Long look in for the sign by Patton. Takes too long. Amadeo gets asked for and is granted time.
Amadeo has a nice wide open stance. You notice that?
Mm-hmm. Runner goes. Pump fake throw. There'll be no throw. Milto with the stolen base.
Good defensive move by Guerin. No need to try to be foolish and try to throw down and then give up that run through something that could occur. So good move on their part.
Amadeo took that pitch, though, for strike 2. He's behind the count 0-2. Swing and a miss. He waves at that one. Strikeout, the first of the game for the relief pitcher, Patton.
Number 24, Tanner.
You kind of wish in those situations you see guys just throw the bunt down the first base side, you know?
2 outs in the inning. And here's Hudspeth. His
That'd have been
RBI
the old
single.
Whitey Herzog ball, excuse me, right?
Yeah.
You know? He's gonna
Hudspeth's
force
RBI
it.
single made it a 1-1 game. 2 runners in scoring position. Pitch blocked nicely by the catcher, Dorsey.
Dorsey did a great job. He kept everything in front of him, got his body over, pushed the ball basically off of his motion back in front of him. So no play. Good move. Tanner's got to help himself here.
Hits this one into the gap in right center field. That'll get 2 runs in. Hudspeth digging for second base. Wagner picks it up, the relay in. Hudspeth in standing with a 2-run double. Big hit by the pitcher, Tanner Hudspeth.
Boy, he lined it into the right center area, and he was on his horse into second.
Went the other way. Solid contact in the right center field gap. Here comes the manager.
Courtesy runner number 13, Michael Schaefer.
Tony Meyer out to talk to his pitcher. We may have another pitching change, and we will indeed have another pitching change. Tony Meyer is out to make a change. The 3rd pitcher of the night will be called upon for the Golden Eagles of Guerin Catholic. Tanner Hudspeth's 2-run double has made it 5-2 Roncalli. We'll step out during this pitching change and come back in 30 seconds on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
Do life, not laundry. Milto Cleaners.
Well, the new pitcher is 5'8" freshman Glenn Morrow. Comes in out of the bullpen. He was not in the game prior. He's the 3rd Guerin Catholic pitcher in this ball game. Clay Patton departs, having pitched 2 full innings, make it 1 full inning, one full inning. He got 3 outs. He is responsible for Hudspeth down at second base, however. And Morrow, the right-hander, finishing up his warm-up tosses. Did not see what became of, well, it looks like Patton is going to stay in the game, although we'll see where he plays defensively. He might be going back to third base.
I think he is.
And Reel, who began the game at first, went over to third when Patton headed to the mound.
I think Reel's going over to first base.
Yep, they're going to go back to where they started. We're a ways away from a Bert Campanera situation, Matt, where you try and play all 9 positions in 9 innings, but box score the scorecard's starting to get a little crowded.
It's got a lot of ink, huh? It's getting a little crowded on there.
Schaefer's in to run for Hudspeth. He's down at second base, the courtesy runner, and Johnny Rader is headed to the plate. Johnny, no official at bats yet. Hit by a pitch in the second, walked in the third.
Somebody needs to turn the heater on too. I think now the sun's down behind the trees.
Temperature's starting to drop a little bit here in this 4th inning.
You'll need that bullpen cart to take you to the car when you're done.
Yeah, indeed. 5-2 the score. Tanner Hudspeth's 2-run double with 2 outs has put Roncalli up 3 here. Royals looking for what would be their 3rd straight win. And win number 16 on the season. Came in at 15-6 on the year after the win last night at Guerin 4-2. Rader ahead of that one, swings through it. And Guerin, you got to give them credit, Matt. They had a 7-game losing streak at one point early in the year in April, and have battled back since then, 6-5.
Really like what you see out of Guerin. They have some really fundamentally sound ball players that you really like to watch.
Rader tomahawks this one down the left field side, but it hooks foul, and one hops the fence in the corner. And they've got a lot of young players. I mean, you look up and down the roster, only 4 seniors on the roster, and Schaff is the only one out in left field who's in the lineup tonight.
And when you really watch them, they make good baseball decisions. Usually when you see a lot of young players, unfortunately, they'll make some mistakes, which is typical. But these guys and when I say these guys, Guerin, they're sound.
1-2 to Raider, held up on that one on the pitch high. It's 2-2.
Number one, you like the fact that they're very aggressive from a hitting standpoint. They're very sound in that aspect. The other, they have not made any defensive mistakes, and that's a huge compliment to them.
2-2 the counter. Raider 2 away. Pitch way outside, and the count goes full, 3-2.
You have to give Johnny Raider credit, Rob. You know, when you get up there and you pull one and you hammer it as hard as he did, a lot of times you know what happens the next time. Make a mistake by being too aggressive.
Swing and a miss. Nice pitch by Morrow to get out of the inning. And Roncalli strands a runner down second, but the big hit in the inning was the 2-run double by Tanner Hudspeth. That increases the Roncalli lead 5-2 in the inning. Roncalli gets 2 hits, strands a runner, scores 3. Or scores 2, rather. We'll take a break, come right back. It's Roncalli Baseball on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
Every day we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
On 6 hits, no errors and 6 left for Guerin Catholic. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors and 3 left. Couple defensive changes for the Royals. We mentioned Dominic Brown and Ryan Henry slated to depart this game early because of the Roncalli athletics program that's going on. So Alex Amadeo, who hit for Brown in the bottom of the 4th, he stays in the game, is now behind the plate. And the junior Anthony Suppi has come in to play left field for Ryan Henry.
For the Golden Eagles, number 33, Josh Sheck.
You know, Rob, on this day in 1910, here's two.
Oh, lay it on me. 1910.
1910, okay. Philadelphia A's pitcher, you ready? Chief Bender.
Chief Bender, yes.
Threw a no-hitter 4-0 against the Cleveland Naps.
Yes.
How about that one?
The Cleveland Naps. You don't hear them discussed
you never hear that
day.
name. No, not at all. God bless the Philadelphia A's, which eventually became the Oakland A's.
Swing and a miss by Schaff to lead off this 5th inning with a stop in Kansas City in between.
That's true. My apologies. You're right. I was getting ready to give Charlie Finley all the credit in the world.
So what year was that?
1910.
Connie Mack was in the dugout in a suit.
Yes.
Managing in a suit. He managed into like the early 50s. He was the manager of the A's for like 50 years.
You stop and think Connie Mack, John McGraw, all those guys back then?
Connie Mack managing in a 3-piece suit in the dugout, in the how you live there. How humid are those summers in Philadelphia?
Oh, Lord. Not only that, think about the umpires and what they had to wear back then,
Hanging out in Shibe Park in a 3-piece suit in the dugout.
Yeah.
Pitch high a ball. It's 1-2.
Not only did Connie have it on, obviously the umpires back then wore the tie and the suit coat and everything like that. And if you look at pictures, they looked like wingtips on behind the plate.
That pitch outside, missing, and it's 2-2.
Imagine taking a foul ball off of on the wingtip.
Oh.
Holy cow.
Swing and a miss right at the belt. And that's the 9th strikeout of the game for Hudspeth.
That was a great pitch. 2-2 count. He just blew it right down the pipe. And
batter, number 8.
Great way to start the inning off.
Real.
Aaron Kroll heading out to the mound. And is he going to call for the baseball here?
Usually when you're doing that, you get somebody warming up. I don't see anybody.
Well, there's a little activity while the Royals were batting in the bottom of the 4th down the bullpen, but we've not seen anything since. And Roncalli does not play again after tonight. Roncalli does not play again until next Tuesday night against Southport on senior night. So
they could be talking about, obviously the senior banquets, or athletic banquet. Wonder what if there are any parting gifts for Henry and Don Brown.
Candlesticks are always good.
I was waiting for that
Maybe
to come.
A place setting.
I was waiting.
Find out where they're registered.
All right, let's turn 2.
5-2 the score. That was a nice setup. 1 out here in the top of the 5th.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. Back to the top of the order in Real. He's been arguably, with the possible exception of Hudspeth, he's been arguably the best hitter in this game. Certainly the best hitter from a Guerin Catholic standpoint. He's got 2 extra base hits, double in the first inning and a triple in the third.
Just got to get him some stirrups.
2-0 the score. That chopped wide of the bag. Or 2-0 count, excuse me. 2-1 count. 5-2 the score. We were talking last night. Roncalli, a couple Saturdays ago, hosted Cecina. Dave Gandolf, the Cecina head man, earlier this season became the 5th coach in Indiana high school baseball history to eclipse 800 wins.
Unbelievable.
And he had the full stirrups going, full uniform. You don't see a lot of coaches wearing the. As Real lifts this one into right center field, the Raider drifting over. The wind holds it up. Johnny camping under it, one hands it for the out. 2 away.
Good play, because my Lord, was that a towering fly ball, and in the wind that thing moved toward Milto and right quickly. Got to give Raider credit for really picking up a lot of ground to help his teammate there.
Here's Fremian. He's 1 for 2. Bunt single in the first. Struck out in the third.
Fremian has classic baseball outfit right here.
With the stirrups. That's what Coach Gandolf was working with when we saw him a couple Saturdays ago. And high school coaches, as is usually the case, things trickle down. High school coaches take their cues from the big leagues. You don't see a lot of big league managers wearing a uniform top with a number on them anymore. But Coach Gandolf, he had one rolling. The uniform top with the number on the back, high stirrups.
That was classic baseball right there.
1-1 count to Fremian.
As my old boss, Dave Alexander, would say, if you're going to wear it right.
Yes, indeed. And Coach Gandolf, 800-plus wins. Our guy Jason Sims points out that Fremian swings through that one. During Jason Sims' time as the head man at Cardinal Ritter, Coach Gandolf's record against Coach Sims, 0-4. Take that one to the bank,
That's
baby.
always helpful to hear. Especially when you're sitting next to him, too.
We discussed that a couple weeks ago, so I had that stat top of mind.
I'm glad I could help create that conversation for you guys.
Fremian fouled that pitch back, and count stays 2-2. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th.
I just hope Sims never holds that against me for a while.
I'm sure he won't.
Okay, good.
Hudspeth wants Amadeo to circle through the signs again. Amadeo, his first inning behind the plate, so Hudspeth adjusting to the different catcher. 2-2 pitch. Off-speed pitch got up away and almost hit Fremian. He ducked out of the way, and the count goes full. Hudspeth looking for strikeout number 10. It'd be just the second time this season he struck out 10 or more. Pitch. Swing and a miss. He got number 10 right there to close out the 5th. Second strikeout of the inning. 10th of the game for Hudspeth. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Roncalli leading this ball game 5-2. Back with more after this on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
Steve's Flowers and Gifts is your family-owned Indianapolis and
Trouble with your phones or computers? Considering video surveillance? Contact Indy Teledata. They provide technology solutions to local businesses and organizations, including Roncalli High School. Indy Teledata is a proud supporter of Roncalli Athletics and Fine Arts. For complete details, visit them at indyteledata.com.
Alongside Matt Donovan, Rob Brown with you for spending part of your Wednesday night with us. It's our final broadcast of the week. We'll be back with you for 2 next week as this school year winds down. The broadcast season winds down as well. This will be our last video broadcast of the school year. We'll have a couple more audio broadcasts in the regular season, and certainly the plan is to do some postseason games on the audio side for both baseball and softball, just waiting on the finalization of the schedule when the sectional games are going to be played. We know the opponents and the paths. We just don't know the dates and times yet. When we do, we'll make that schedule available. But we do know that we'll have 2 audio-only broadcasts for you next week on RoncalliMediaNetwork.com. Baseball senior night Tuesday night against Southport, and the softball game senior night. Actually, senior night was last week, but the softball regular season finale at home against Brownsburg on Thursday. So Tuesday, Thursday broadcast for you next week. 5:30 starts for both of those. Dylan Craig stands in to lead off this bottom of the 5th. Roncalli leading 5-2. Takes the first 2 pitches for strikes, and he's behind 0-2.
5th inning?
Bottom of the 5th.
Usually you hear Sweet Caroline in the 6th at Fenway, so that kind of got me a little confused. So.
Yeah, a little crossed up there.
Yeah, a little crossed up, but I'm good now. All good.
Pitch high, a ball. We were talking prior to airtime tonight. Minor league baseball, both of us growing up in minor league baseball towns. Of course, I grew up here, going to Indianapolis Indians games back in the 70s and 80s. You were a Peoria Chiefs guy.
Pride of Peoria, Peoria Chiefs.
Fouled back. Doing my research, though, here's what I did not know. I did not know that when the single-A team, Midwest League team, came to Peoria in the early 80s, the first 2 years they were the Peoria Suns.
Peoria Suns, yeah. Peoria
affiliate
Suns.
of the Angels.
Affiliate of the Angels. Terrible team. They were
taken
god-awful.
high, 2-2. That was 83-84,
Yeah.
and then they became the Chiefs because they came originally from Danville, Illinois, right? And they were the Danville Suns, Angels affiliate.
Yeah.
Here's what I did not know in the full circle moment. 2-2 pitch to Craig. Pitch away a ball, the count goes full. The second year of the Peoria Suns, 1984, do you remember who the manager was?
Fergosi?
Joe Madden.
Really?
Who then was the manager for the Cubs.
Wow.
When they won the World Series in 2016. Yeah. Madden spent 30-plus years in the Angels organization. That pitch above the letters for a ball, and Craig has his second walk of the game.
I did not know Joe Madden was that. He was the manager of that team at that point in time.
Joe Coleman was the manager the first year.
Yeah, I remember Joe Coleman. I did not
Craig.
remember.
And then
Anthony Suppi.
Anthony Suppi on the hit, came in defensively to replace Ryan Henry in left field in the top of the 5th. Suppi making just his second plate appearance.
And really, the Angels, when Socha was their manager, Madden was their bench coach for a number of years, and it all comes together.
Well, that 0-2 team, there were 3 guys on that staff that ended up getting head manager jobs. That 0-2 team that won the series, and at the time we lived in Southern California about, 20 minutes, 15 minutes from the ballpark. Went to probably 20-plus Angels games that summer. And you had Joe Madden was the bench coach, became the manager of the Rays, then the Cubs, now with the Angels.
Yeah.
You had Ron Renicky, who was the third base coach. Suppi lifts this one high in the air to center field. Center fielder tracking back. That's over his head, and it is gone! Anthony Suppi in just his second at bat of the season.
Number 15,
he goes yard to right center field, just to the right of the 380 sign in straightaway center.
That ball traveled.
Into the wind, Anthony Suppi got all of that one and then some. Mullet flowing out the back, he hits it deep.
That, initially when the ball left the bat, it didn't look like it was going to travel that far, and it just kept going and going and going, and the next thing you know, it is over 380. Kudos to him.
Oh, my. Anthony Suppi hits one a long way, and it's 7-2. Here's Spazzelli. He's 0 for 2. 5-run lead for the Royals. to finish that thought about the Angels, Bud Black was the pitching coach.
Yeah, and went obviously down to San Diego and
Colorado.
Colorado, yeah. Great pitcher. Bud Black was so good at changing his speeds and hitting locations.
And Spazzelli takes that one right off the left shoulder blade. So all three Royals hitters so far in this bottom fifth have reached.
Andrew Ball.
Craig with the leadoff walk, Soupy the 2-run homer, and Spazzelli's avoided via the hit by pitch.
And, you know, Bud Black was just such a great pitching coach.
Yes. Yes, he was. So Peoria Chiefs, best 3 Chiefs you ever saw in Peoria.
Simple. Greg Maddox, Rafael Palmeiro, Mark Grace. I saw Maddox's
all
first.
Cubs farm hands on the way up.
I saw Maddox's first appearance ever as a professional. And he was unbelievable in the sense that when he was out there, total control, smooth. Just, you know, he wasn't really a powerful kind of guy, but boy, if the catcher put the mid up, he hit it every time. Something you rarely see anymore.
Pitch away, ball, and the throw down to first base. Spazzelli's back diving. Best 3 Indianapolis Indians I saw, in no particular order. Mario Soto.
Great pitcher.
Larry Walker and Andres Galarraga.
The big cat.
Because they switched over to an Expos affiliate when I was in high school. Mid-'80s, mid to late 80s.
The big cat.
And when I was in high school, we used to go down, or actually it was early college. We used to go down, if we found out that Randy Johnson was pitching, we'd buy tickets and try and buy tickets by the bullpen to go watch him warm up. Because he was just unlike anything you'd ever seen. A 6'10" guy with a mullet, and that was back before he had any kind of control. So there was always a thought in your head that he might maim somebody tonight.
I ran right into him coming off the elevator when I was in Baltimore one time. And I'm proud to say that I literally walked smack dab into him and felt like I walked right into a pole and fell down.
2-0 count to ball here. Nobody out. Spazzelli down at first. 2 runs already in via the towering home run to right center field by Anthony Soupy.
The unit, have you ever seen a guy deliver a ball so fast from the hip to the plate?
No. Ball lifts this one down the right side. Wind blowing it foul. 3 players giving chase for the Golden Eagles. They run out of room.
That ball was fair,
over the fence.
and then eventually went over the fence.
Wind blew it about 40 feet foul to the right. Those were the 3 best Indianapolis Indians I saw. My favorite Indian, though, of all time was the great Champ Summers, who was a modest big league player. But Champ Summers in 1978 was the MVP of all of minor league baseball. 32 home runs, 126 RBIs, hit .368 in a 140-game season.
And those are some serious numbers that you'll never see again, probably.
No. Ball takes that pitch for a strike, and it's 2-2. Champ Summers.
My favorite Mark Grace story is back at that period of time, guys would wear gloves, batting gloves underneath their glove. Grace was probably the first guy I would remember seeing never wearing a glove. In one game,
ball
the first baseman,
foul and out of play down the right side.
My apologies. First baseman for the other team forgot his glove, and Grace would leave his glove on the base so the guy could use his as they would swap innings.
That was how they used to do it back in the old days, turn of the century.
Turn of the century, yeah.
2-2 count to ball. Runner goes, ball again, off the end of the bat and out of play down the right side.
Never in a million years did I ever think I'd see that. I'll just drop my glove here and you can go use it.
Well, I did a little research and pulled up some photos of the old ballpark in Peoria.
Oh.
And that looked like it was a little bit of a haphazard setup.
It was. How many bleachers can we jam around a ballpark?
Folding chairs
folding
everywhere.
Chairs, oh, yeah. Let's just drag some bleachers in and just jam it in and around a field.
And it was originally known as Minor Field, right?
Minor
Field. And then they named it after the guy that owned the...
Pete Van Auken.
Yeah.
Who was a good friend of...
Harry Carey. Yeah. He would make appearances in the booth.
Folks, we have plenty of stories to give you.
Ball hits this one hard into left center field, and a nice running catch by Novell in the center fielder running to his right to haul it in for this first out of the inning.
Gonna bring in number 14, Cole Beckman.
Here's Cole Beckman back to the top of the order. Cole's 2 for 3. Has 2 of Roncalli's 7 hits tonight. 7-2 the score. 1 out, 1 on. 2 runs in. After not finding the plate in the first 2 innings, Roncalli's come back with 3 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 2 here in the fifth.
A little trivia: when you go to Minor Field, you'd park on a track.
Pitch taking a strike, and Spizzelli's got a stolen base easily in front of the throw. Yeah, it's now been converted into a soccer field, right?
Yeah,
At Bradley University?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd park
But the
on
press box still stands.
Press box still there. Obviously, sad to say all the bleachers are gone and new configuration. And then there was a track next to it, so you'd park on the track. And then obviously walk into the ballpark. Something you do not see today.
No. Pitch outside, it's 1-1.
And you always wondered how many foul balls would land on I-74 and really create traffic issues, you know? Of course, that was the start of hearing, you know, the screeching and all that, but...
1-1 pitch to Beckman. Curveball drops in nicely for a strike, 1-2. And I did not realize how long the Chiefs proceeded as a Cardinals affiliate. Long time. Albert Pujols played in
Pujols
Peoria.
was there, yeah. Pujols was there for... And Pujols would just, which obviously we all knew, he would obliterate a ball.
2-2, pitch away. 1 out here in the inning. 7-2, Roncalli leads. Beckman reaches out and pokes this one foul into the screen.
Nice job by Cole. That's the old Tony Gwynn. I'm going to protect the plate, give myself another chance, and that was a great piece of hitting there. Obviously he's fouled it, but he gave himself another piece of life.
Yep, 2-2. Well, certainly all those nights in the late 70s, early to mid 80s going to Busch Stadium over there on 16th Street. Tons of character in that old ballpark. The Mr. Dan's hot dog stand out behind left center field. Champ Summers hit a home run off the top of that and a walk-off one time in that 78 season.
Probably the only ballpark that had an authentic Indian teepee.
Well, they had one in Fulton County Stadium out in left field for a while.
Yeah, that's true. Totally forgot about that. The launch pad.
The launch pad, yeah.
Watching Dale Murphy hit home runs off the launch pad
on the
were
Superstation.
Like missiles. Oh, with the great
Dale Murphy and Bob Horner.
Yep. That was true baseball. WGN and
TBS.
Pride, TBS.
Beckman, that pitch in tight gets away. It's a pass ball, and that allows Spizzelli to head down to third base, and the count goes full. Yeah, you talk about broadcast teams now. Between Harry Carey and Steve Stone on GN, and then you had Skip Carey, Pete Van Wern, and Ernie Johnson Sr.
Yep. And Don Sutton.
And later Don Sutton, yeah. He was still playing back then in the 80s, but yep. 3-2 pitch to Beckman. Hits this one high in the air in the infield. First baseman Reel catches it in the middle of the infield dirt for the second out of the inning.
Reel did a nice job. The ball was going every which way but loose. Got good position. Made sure his second baseman was in good position to stay away, don't do anything crazy, and did a nice job.
Here's Joey Milto, 0 for 3 tonight. Reached and scored via a fielder's choice in the fourth. Spizzelli down at third. 2 runs already in the inning via the 2-run shot by Anthony Suppi. Pitch on the outside corner taking a strike.
You and I growing up and watching baseball, there were only 2 options, TBS and WGN.
Well, there was a third option, and that was Marty Brenneman and Joe Nuxall on 700 WLW. That was the third option, which I usually opted for. We got here locally. We would get about on Channel 4, local channel, Channel 4 that was a non-affiliate, not a network affiliate. We'd get about 20 games a year, Reds games, on Channel 4. So that was how we got our Reds TV fix. Bill Brown and Ray Lane on the call for those.
And if you remember, Nuxall always had a whistle to his
Yes.
You know, his broadcast. The great Chris Denary always reminded me of Nuxall's whistle when he would basically, he's surrounding thirds and he'd whistle.
Yep. 2-1 pitch to Milto off the end of the bat. Twisting foul out of play down the left side. 2 outs in the inning. Spazzelli down at third base. 2 runs in for Roncalli. Trailed 1-0, heading into the third, now lead 7-2. This day in 1967, change the topic a little bit, Jimi Hendrix debut album. How about that?
Interesting. Little Wing?
Are You Experienced?
Oh, okay. I thought maybe Little Wing.
3-1, the count, that pitch missed.
Or Purple Haze? No, sorry, wrong choice on that one.
1967. Three-one pitch to Milto, time called. But the count is full. Count is full. 3-2 the count. Full count, 2 outs. Pitch to Milto. Chopped right back wide of the mound, and it gets away from the diving second baseman, Fremian. Spazzelli's in to score on the infield hit by Milto, and it's 8-2.
Base hit by Milto, scores Spazzelli.
Joey Milto's got to be
batter,
feeling good about that one.
Or 6.
Taking that.
Alex Amadeo.
And basically driving it to the second baseman. Really didn't have a play. He obviously, second baseman, gave everything he could. Good RBI.
He worked deep into that at bat to get that result he was looking for.
He did not give up.
Here's Amadeo, his second at bat of the night, struck out in the fourth. Milto goes first pitch. Looping throw down to second base is high, and Milto has his second stolen base of the night.
And Milto jumped quickly. He just took off fast.
That's another guy. You think about Milto and Andrew Baugh and Johnny Rader, all guys that are going to plug in some form or fashion into the secondary or the linebacking core for Roncalli's football defense next fall. They attempt to defend their 4A title. Swing and a miss by Amadeo, and the count evens, 1-1. Coach Rotenberg has already reset the deck. He's not looking at it. He's not defending titles. He's looking at that as a new slate. It's a new team with its own set of expectations. Roncalli football in 2021. Can't wait. Pitch down, a ball, 2-1. Actually, that gets going. That'll be here before we know it. Third Friday in August. We'll be just down the drive at Roncalli Stadium. The Southport Cardinals will head across the south side. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. We've got road games at Chittard. Trip down to Cincinnati Elder in week 8. That'll be something. That is an atmosphere down there at the pit if crowds are back in full force.
Talk about a great high school football game. Man, in that type of environment too.
Amadeo got a piece to send it back to the screen. Count holds at 2-2. That's a week 8 trip down to Cincinnati Elder.
Homecoming for Coach John in that regard. I'm obviously back to Cincinnati.
And the coach at Cincinnati Elder, his first name escapes me, but he is the father of the recent IU quarterback, Patrick Ramsey.
Really?
Who played at IU and then transferred to Northwestern, now
Northwestern,
in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yep. Popped straight back into the screen. I think he signed a free agent contract with Washington. But his father is the coach at Elder.
Ramsey had a nice end to his career at Northwestern.
Yes,
came in and did a nice job.
Won a bowl game.
Won a bowl game. Pat Fitzgerald's offense is very up-tempo. And to be able to jump in and do what he did, you have to give him a lot of compliments in that regard.
Off-speed pitch sailed inside on Amadeo, and he's worked the count full with 2 outs here in the inning. And 3 runs in, Royals leading 8-2. Milto down at second base.
Milto has an eye like he wants to take off again, too.
Amadeo fouls this one back into the screen.
Kudos to Amadeo. He is really running that pitch count up with this at bat. And I hate to say something like that. God forbid do I jinx him, but good piece of hitting here. Basically just staying alive and staying alive. Try to find the pitch, as Tony Gwynn would say, and then do some damage.
Morrow is has retired 3 batters since coming in, and this is already his 48th pitch. This one is hit into left field, going back to left fielder, and the wind will hold it up, and he makes the catch, does Schaff right in front of the fence, just to the right of the state champion sign. So Amadeo makes the last out of the inning, but in the inning, Roncalli gets 3 runs, 2 of them coming on the big home run by Anthony Soupy. In the inning, the Royals get 2 hits, strand a runner. We head to the top of the 6th. Roncalli leads this ball game 8-2. We're back after this on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
Hi, folks.
Rob Brown, Matt Donovan back with you. We head to the 6th inning. Roncalli leading Guerin Catholic 8-2. Tanner Hudspeth on for his 6th inning of work. Tanner's given up 2 runs, 4 hits. He's got 10 strikeouts and a lone walk through 5 innings, searching for win number 5.
Still throwing hard.
Yes, he is.
You're in the 6th inning. He's still throwing hard. Looks like he has still good pop on the fastball. Doesn't show any signs of obviously slowing it down by any stretch.
Sitting on 81 pitches as we head to the 6th.
Over under on this inning, pitch-wise?
I'd say 15.
That's a good number.
He has 10 strikeouts in the game, 2nd time this season in his career. Of course, there was no season last year, so this is his first high school season as a sophomore. 2nd time this year he struck out double-figure batters. Had 14 strikeouts in the 1-0 win over Brebeuf on the 13th of April.
Watching him deliver, he has tremendous leg strength.
Yes, he does.
And basically the position and obviously the push, tremendous leg strength.
Pours in 0-2. Pours in 2 quick strikes to Clay Patton, who's 0 for 1. Sacrifice fly by Patton in the 1st. Got the game's first run in. Curveball drops in, just missed high. Ooh, that was close.
Very close. The other interesting aspect is Tanner's, as I've stated earlier, so far over on that rubber, and to be able to push and to basically move the ball around as much as he does, it's a huge compliment to him. I'll be honest, I haven't seen somebody that far over.
Well, there's an ongoing dialogue between the home plate umpire, Tony Meyer, and certain individuals behind the plate that paid to get in about what the count is. It's 1-2. Now it's 2-2 as that pitch is high. Two. Ooh, and that hit him. He tried to duck out of the way, and it got him in the back. Or did it hit the bat?
They're claiming it hit the bat.
It hit the bat, so it's a foul ball. Boy, that one got away from Hudspeth, and Patton tried to spin out of the way, and they ruled that it hit the bat. It's a foul ball.
Wow.
2-2 count. Just got a piece, did Patton, to send it back to the screen.
It was a nice piece for Patton to obviously stay alive, because that was a strong fastball that Hudspeth kind of barreled down the pipe.
Well, the pitch count max is 120. And Hudspeth sitting on 84. You'd think he'd have enough wiggle room to get to that number to finish the game. And that pitch inside, and that's ball 4. Or is that ball 3? Beg your pardon, that's ball 3. Patton dove out of the way again. Boy, oh boy, Hudspeth all over the place in this at bat. You can hit the mascot with the next pitch.
Where's the bull at?
Full count. Swing and a miss. He got him. Boy, oh boy. Hudspeth went all around the world to get that strikeout. Well, the jockeys are in full force down below us. 1 out in the inning. Here's that ball hit off the end of the bat. Beckman to his left. Long throw from shortstop. Keeney can't find it. And Novellin is safe. I think that might be an infield hit.
It was deep. You have to. I mean, Beckman obviously fielded it well. He was deep, so that's a hard, strong throw you got to make.
Yeah, I think even if Keeney comes up with that cleanly, I think Novellin still beats that out.
I would agree.
So infield hit. Double check with our official scorer, Eric Ball, on that.
Keeney would have to put a huge stretch to help Beckman in that situation.
Here's Davis Wagner. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. First pitch swinging, hits it high in the infield on the grass. Infielders converge. Somebody has to call it. Ball can't find it. He drops it, and Hudspeth then picks it up and throws to second for the force out. Well, the wind blew that all over the place.
We're fortunate that we didn't have a collision.
Yes,
because that was getting close.
Yeah, I thought Beckman and Ball were going to collide.
Your batter, number 11, Anthony Ferrucci.
So Novellin is out on the force out. That goes 1 to 8, I believe. Johnny Rader came in and covered second base on the force out. So you don't see a lot of 1-8 forces at second base.
Heads up to Johnny Rader in that situation.
Here's Ferrucci with 2 outs and Wagner over at first base.
Saved him big time in that situation.
Throw over. Runner diving back. Official score was an error on Keeney on that play at first. So no hit there, so still 4 hits in the game for Guerin Catholic. Pitch on the outside corner, strike, and it's 0-2.
We just had a perfect opportunity for another Randy Johnson situation. Geese go right by. Tanner's about ready to let it go. We could have had ourselves an interesting situation.
A couple ducks out in center field have set up shop out behind Johnny Rader. Check swing, did he go?
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Yes,
Strike 3. That's strikeout number 12 of the night for Hudspeth. In the inning, a runner left and an error for Roncalli. We're through 5.5. Score remains Roncalli 8, Guerin Catholic 2. Back with the bottom of the 6th on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
Do life, not laundry. Milto Cleaners.
And back with what the Royals hope is their last time to bat. Bottom of the 6th inning. Roncalli leading 8-2. On for his... Actually, we got another pitcher, a new pitcher in the game. Aiden Morse is in the game. 4th pitcher of the night.
Your pitcher for Guerin Catholic, number 15, Aiden Morse.
Morse on for his first inning of work. He's a junior. Has played both right field and first base in this game. And so Morse had come out of the game, and now he's back in on the mound.
See any other substitution changes
I don't
that
either.
I'm aware of. Obviously just a pitching change. Everything else looks pretty much normal to what we saw last inning, right?
Yep, so Morse is the 4th pitcher used by the Golden Eagles tonight. course, Tanner Hudspeth, who's trying to get the complete game for Roncalli, leads off this bottom of the sixth.
Tanner Hudspeth.
He's certainly been a hitting star as well tonight for the Royals. 2 for 3 with 3 runs knocked in.
This brings back the good old days. You pitched, you hit, you ran, you did everything.
Yep. So Hudspeth looking for hit number 3. This is his fifth multi-hit game of the season.
For a pitcher, no less, too.
And looking for what would be his 3rd complete game win of the season. If he can come back out and finish it up here in the 7th. Takes a strike there. He's behind 0-2. Some celebrity birthdays, Matt Donovan. You ready?
Yeah, I am. I'm ready.
Kim Fields. Ready, Kim Fields? You with me on Kim Fields?
No.
This ball is hit into the left center field gap. That's another double for Tanner Hudspeth. Takes a big turn. And there's going to be a play at second base, but the throw is wide. Tanner's got his 2nd double of the night. That one pounded into left center field. Courtesy runner coming out is Schaefer. And boy, Hudspeth with a career high 3 hits tonight. He has certainly been the focal point tonight.
That is a great day for that young man.
Here's Johnny Rader. 0 for 1, struck out in his only official plate appearance. Also reached via getting hit by a pitch to lead off the 2nd, walked in the 3rd. Kim Fields from Facts of Life.
Oh, yes, of course.
And he's hit again. That one hit him right in the shoulder. First pitch. 3rd Roncalli batter hit tonight. Rader has been the recipient of 2 of those. Kim Fields, 52 today. Tootie from Facts of Life.
Yeah, Tootie. I forgot all about that.
Emilio Estevez celebrating birthday number 59 today.
Okay, all right.
Dylan Craig. He's walked twice, scored once. Only official plate appearance. He grounded out to short in the 2nd. Emilio Estevez, 59 today. In numerous films, Breakfast Club.
Yeah, that was by far his best.
Repo Man.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll give you that one.
Some of the younger viewers might skew toward Mighty Ducks. 1, 2, and 3, if you will.
Still got to go with Breakfast Club. That's the best one of them all. That was his ticket.
The Outsiders. Some fans of The Outsiders. I know my wife Rachel is a big fan of The Outsiders.
Rach has got, the whole portfolio. She's got them all.
She does. She does.
You can't slide one past Rach. I'm just going to say
1-1. Pitch tight on Craig. He buckled back. It's in tight. 2-1.
You got to give Dylan Craig credit. It looks like he's sporting the old baseball high tops.
He is. Yes, he is.
Don't see that anymore. Barry Bonds brought those out, and there you go.
He really was the first guy to wear those.
Mm-hmm.
Taking a strike, the count evens 2-2.
And they were so unusual. You remember he would wrap the laces around it because the laces were so long.
Yes.
Another area, I'm sure some orthopedic doctor shook his head on that one.
That pitch down in the dirt, and it's 3-2. Nobody out here in this bottom of the 6th. Roncalli leads 8-2. Michael Schaefer, the courtesy runner, down at second base. Johnny Rader over at first. Ball in the dirt, ball 4.
By Craig.
And the bases are loaded. 3rd walk tonight, drawn by Craig. And that's the...
Your batter number 15, Anthony Soupy.
Well, I have to tell you, Soupy has got a little Sean Casey in him. And obviously from the last time we saw him at the plate, it's got a little Sean Casey kind of mullet-looking approach, too.
Oh, yeah, he's got the full-blown mullet going out the back of the helmet.
Yes.
And we talked about, some of these football guys on defense that will come back as seniors. Rader, Milto, Andrew Balby, a junior. Soupy's another guy that could factor in.
Mm-hmm.
That pitch down and away, a ball, 2-0. Play on the defensive line last year, and when he got time, when he was healthy, he was fairly impactful with that 2nd unit. Hit a big home run in his last time up, last inning. A ball that just kept going into the teeth of the wind and cleared the fence just to the right of the 380 sign in straightaway center field.
Soupy has a little bit of the Greg Luzinski stance when he steps in there. The big bull.
He hit a few upper deck shots with the
Without a
vet
doubt.
back in the day.
Oh, yeah. They have a seat with his number on the chair.
That he hit in the upper deck?
That he hit in the upper deck. I should know. I had to sit up there one time in the blazing hot sun.
I've read on more than one occasion that the upper deck at the vet was a lawless universe. Is that true?
You went into a different zone that you never knew existed, and you just hope you got out of there alive.
3-0 count to Soupy. Bases loaded, nowhere to put him. And that pitches away a ball, and a run comes home via the walk. It's Schaefer, and it looks like we're going to have another pitching change as Tony Meyer making his way out. Soupy gets the bases loaded walk. And we are indeed going to have another pitching change. Evan Braun coming in, the senior right-hander. Coming on for the 5th pitcher of the night for Guerin Catholic. We'll go ahead and step out for 30 seconds. Come right back, tell you all about it on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
Throughout Chick-fil-A's history,
Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
5:30 start next Tuesday. Senior.
Now the 5th pitcher of the night on for Guerin Catholic, the senior Evan Braun, 275-pound right-hander.
Once again, JV Saturday morning.
Comes on in relief of Aiden Morse, who did not retire a batter.
Marcia home on Tuesday.
And the bases are loaded. All Morse's responsibility. Morse gave up a double to Hudspeth and then hit Rader, walking Craig and Soupy, forcing in a run on the Soupy walk. Roncalli Baseball Senior Night. Next Tuesday night, we'll have the game for you, audio-only broadcast against Southport, or as I think Jason Sims just went Urban Meyer and referred to Southport of the PA as the school down the street. Refused to reference them by name. I didn't catch that until after it had already been kind of floating out there.
He's still trying to recover from the Gandalf.
Oh my!
Yeah.
We'll have that game, the Southport game, on Tuesday night, 5:30 start time. Roncalli boys basketball coach Michael Wantz will be sitting in with us for that one. Looking forward to that. And then we'll have the softball audio-only broadcast on Thursday night against Brownsburg, one of the top 15 teams in the state. David Lauk's team playing any and all comers. Daunting schedule. That'll be Thursday night, 5:30 start time for that one. And Roncalli class of '88, former Roncalli one-time starting quarterback Dan Hammerschmidt will be with us for that one.
Clearly you pulled Wantz out to talk Reds baseball for about, 2 hours?
We will talk some Reds baseball, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Kind of went down a rabbit hole on the internet over the weekend and talked a little bit about Coach Wantz, with Coach Wantz about his high school tennis career.
Really?
Yes, he was on a team at Union City that won a all-class sectional his senior year. Christian Ampel is the hitter, standing in for the first time tonight. He's 1 for 2 on the season, has a double, a couple knocked in. Ampel hitting for Spazzelli. And first pitch swinging, lifts this one into center field. Center fielder coming on, it drops in front of him. He misjudged it. Now it gets away. Rader jogs in from third. And Ampel with an RBI single. It is 10-2. Still nobody out.
Excuse me, Ram. That ball was hit like off the end of the bat, and it just did not drive, if that makes sense. And
your batter.
You can understand the center fielder. You would think that's coming, and it just did not have a lot on it, and it died.
Here's Zach Arman, the junior. And I believe this is his first at-bat of the season. Primarily a JV player, also a wide receiver football team. A good size.
got a good number. It's my old number.
22?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the bases are loaded, and there's nobody out. Roncalli has an 8-run lead. 2 more runs in, and the game's over. I did not think about the 10-run rule being in play, but if Roncalli gets up 10, this game's over. Arman hits this one on the ground to short, and the shortstop can't find it. Force play at second. He's safe.
Second baseman was behind the bag.
So then I think that's going to be an error on the shortstop.
Yep.
So an error on the shortstop allows Arman to reach. Raider comes home from third, and everybody's safe. Now here's Noah Ressler hitting for Beckman. And the winning run is down at third base that would end the game on the 10-run rule. And Ressler is hit, and that's it.
Ball game.
Ressler's hit with the first pitch. That sends Soupy home from third.
And Ressler's hit by the pitch. That's going to bring.
And in the inning,
home. That will be your ball game.
Guerin Catholic pitching do not retire a batter. Roncalli sends
Roncalli
7 to the plate.
12-2. That puts them
4 runs come
with
in.
an undefeated record in the conference and conference champions. Congratulations.
And that will be the ball game as Soupy comes home to score the 4th and final run of the inning, making it 12-2. Roncalli winning this game in 6 innings. We'll go ahead and take a break of a couple minutes. And when we come back, Matt and I will have all the particulars on the Steve's Flowers and Gifts postgame show. We'll talk with Aaron Kroll. We'll hand out our star of the game. And we will wrap it all up for you when we come back after this 2-minute pause on the Ascent to St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
We're so thrilled to have Peyton Manning's name on our children's hospital. But we are a hospital designed for kids.
And then the halfback went in motion and then ran a slant route across the middle. Try to get a linebacker isolated on him. I like this beat. It's nice. Give me some more bass. A little more bass here. These are nice. Wish they had them at the adult hospital next door. They have to make this giraffe green.
That's crazy.
Might be right. Let's go red right, scat right, 585, wide drag, on two. Ready? Break. Nice ride. Y'all have these in blue? Can you hear this?
There's only one Peyton Manning Children's Hospital, offering world-class compassionate care for your child. Schedule primary ER or specialist care online.
Thanks, Peyton. We've got this.
Oh, okay. That's where they go.
Every day, we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
3-0 for the week, capping it off with a 12-2 6-inning win over Guerin Catholic. In the process, the Royals improved to 9-0 in Circle City Conference play and 16-6 overall. We're right off the top pleased to be joined here on the postgame show by Roncalli bench coach Mark Pieper, who is also celebrating a birthday. We were talking about that earlier, Peeps, about we did not speculate. We did not name a number. We just mentioned that you and I have known each other a long time. That was all I said.
Has been a long time.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time.
You know, you start talking about numbers, and it just means I've been around a long time. So, but I'm blessed to be here for 70 years and hopefully many more.
Well, we're happy to have you with us here tonight, and want to right off the top get your vantage point of what you saw from your sophomore pitcher tonight, Tanner Hudspeth. Second 10-plus strikeout game for his career. He had 12, too shy of his career high, scattered 4 hits, got out of a couple jams early, to keep Guerin Catholic at a single run until your offense could get going.
Yeah, he's a bulldog on the mound. I mean, he's one of those kids that just goes to the mound and knows what he's got. He pitches. A lot of times in high school you have guys that throw, but he's a pitcher. He's been groomed for that since he was probably 10 or 11 years old with his dad and our pitching coach. And Tanner's just a bulldog on the mound, and he keeps people off balance in the box. You can't really dig in on him, and you don't know what's coming next. And he did a good job. He struggled a couple innings there and lost composure a little bit, but he's a sophomore. So he's going to do that, and he'll learn as he goes along that show no emotion on the mound and just do what he has to do.
Coach, have you ever seen a pitcher stay that far off the rubber as much as he does? Rob and I talked about that. I've rarely see that.
No, you don't see that very often. He feels comfortable over there, and you always want your pitcher to be comfortable when he's up there throwing whatever it takes. So, and Coach Kroll does a good job of calling the game too for Tanner. He kind of takes that off the kid's chest, but every now and then he'll look out at him and say, "You call it. You know what feels comfortable to you." But for him to be where he throws, if you look at the mound right now, there's probably a hole that normally wouldn't be there. So, but that's where he feels comfortable, and by guys, he's been a bulldog for us this year.
I told Rob Brown he gets tremendous leg strength in the position he is to throw to the plate, and is able to move his pitches so perfectly.
Yeah, he works really hard in the off season in the weight room with his legs, and I still think he's going to transform his body a little bit more as he gets older. But he's like Roger Clemens. If you ever watch Roger Clemens throw, and he would have a dirt spot on his knee where he'd push off. And not that he throws like Roger Clemens, but he has that technique.
He has a lot of, when you look at him, he has a lot of shilling in him. And in a sense that Schilling will take that position, use his upper body, come strong to the plate. You're right. It's a little bit of Schilling and a lot of Roger Clemens, and that bulldog approach is all Clemens.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment too much on Schilling because I'm a Yankee fan, so you bring up a Red Sox. But
series.
I will say this. I think Tanner has a lot of his mentality that I'm going to take the ball and I'm going to do what I have to do to beat you at the plate.
Well, speaking of the plate, what'd you see from your guys in terms of their approach? You worked 8 walks tonight, and as the season has gone on here and you've gotten into May, guys like Cole Beckman and Joey Milto and Don Brown have stayed hot, but you've also then started to get a guy like Johnny Rader who's raised his batting average 120 points in the last 3 weeks. Ryan Henry starting to get near 300. You're getting multiple guys dialed in at the plate.
Yeah, I thought our approach tonight was pretty good. Early, maybe not as good as late, but we kind of struggled early with their pitcher. We were a little bit out in our front foot, diving at the ball a little bit, and we started talking about hitting off our back leg, letting the ball travel a little bit into the zone, and use your back leg to push. And I thought we did a good job in the end. Tanner was very good at the plate. Johnny has come on. Johnny struggled a little bit earlier in the year. But, again, he's young. This is his first varsity year. And, boy, he's been hitting the ball really well. Ryan Henry is just Ryan Henry. You know every day what you're going to get from Ryan Henry. And he comes out and gives you 100% every day. And, I challenged him the other day. I said, you're going to be challenged the rest of your life going to West Point and what you got to do. So you got to go to the mound when he was pitching. And I just really challenged him and just said, hey, you got to bulldog this. You got to, got to through it. And he's been real effective for us.
And he put the conference championship in the bag for you last night.
Yeah, he did. He pitched a gem last night for us. And ever since that day, he's come out and threw the ball well. He's a great left fielder. I mean, if it's out there, he catches it.
Well, and you got some guys late in the game that got some opportunities that normally do that have been primarily JV guys. And we were talking about maybe the most impressive ball that was hit all night was the ball that Soupy hit into the wind that traveled and cleared the fence at about 385 in right center.
Yeah, Soupy's been injured, and he's just starting to come back. I mean, he wore a back brace for most of this year.
Some of that's lingering from football season.
Yeah, exactly. And so we're just getting him back, and we gave him some JV starts and let him hit a little bit, and he's very capable of hitting. He's very capable on the mound, too, so we may get to see him for the years out pitch one game.
Well, Coach, we're going to let you go because the sun has dropped. The temperature's dropped about 15 degrees, and Coach Pieper has 3 layers on. He's about 4 layers short.
And I'm still shivering.
Of what he needs with this temperature. So
that's right.
We appreciate it. Happy birthday, my friend. We'll catch up with you next week.
Hey, thanks again, Rob, and thanks for both of you doing what you do for us. Thank you.
That's Mark Pieper, Roncalli bench coach. We appreciate him taking a few minutes for us here on the Steve's Flowers and Gifts post-game show. Let's run down how this game unfolded before we shut it down. Guerin Catholic got the first run of the game, and Matt, they were very aggressive from the plate early, got that run in the top of the first, and you thought, hey, Roncalli's going to be in for it here. But as Coach Pieper said, the Royals were able to adjust their approach at the plate and get deeper into the counts and run some pitch counts up.
Guerin looked like Columbus North. The way they came in the first inning, and their disposition, the way they attacked the plate, they are fast on the bases. They really were wanting to put pressure on Roncalli, but you have to give credit to Tanner Hudspeth for really, just as Coach said, he bulldogged it. And every time the situation may have gotten a little tight, he backed it up with some strong pitches and got himself out of the jams.
Well, Roncalli got the lead for good with 3 runs in the third. The big blow was Tanner Hudspeth's RBI single with 2 outs that got Roncalli's first run in. 2 more runs came in via bases-loaded walks. That made it 3-1 after 3. In the fourth, Roncalli got 2 more runs on Hudspeth's 2-out, 2-run double. That made it 5-2. Guerin Catholic, before that, got a run back on a 2-out home run by Aiden Morse. That was a bomb to left field. That made it 3-2, but then Hudspeth's 2-run double made it 5-2. Royals, through some bases-loaded walks, were able to get a couple more runs. 3 in the fifth. 2 of those came on Anthony Soupy's 2-run home run. And then Roncalli, with some bases-loaded walks in the sixth, were able to get 4 more runs across and end the game via the 10-run rule, making this final score 12-2. Taking a look now at our player of the game, really no dispute or thought other than Tanner Hudspeth, Matt, in this ball game. He goes 6 innings on the mound, 2 runs, both earned, 4 hits, scattered 4 hits, struck out 12, second highest total of the season, walked just 1. And at the plate, he had a season-high 3 hits, 2 extra base hits, 2 doubles, and he drove in 3. He was fantastic start to finish tonight.
Tremendous performance in both, as we stated earlier in the broadcast. Tremendous on the mound, tremendous at the plate. And rarely do you see pitchers do both today.
So the sophomore, Tanner Hudspeth, he is tonight's Ortho Indy star of the game. At Ortho Indy, their mission is to provide the highest quality comprehensive bone, joint, spine, and muscle care to patients throughout the Midwest, the United States, and around the world, from diagnosis through recovery. Their team is ready to get you back in the action. Choose Ortho Indy to be your official orthopedic provider. Well, before we say goodnight, let's update you broadcast schedule next week. 2 games, both on the audio side only on RoncalliMediaNetwork.com. You can listen to the baseball game, senior night against Southport on Tuesday night, 5:30 start time for that one, and then the final regular season home game for the softball team, one of the top teams in the country, in the state as well. That'll be a 5:30 start on Thursday night, audio only on RoncalliMediaNetwork.com against Brownsburg. So 2 games for you next week, and we look forward to those. Appreciate you spending part of your Wednesday night with us. Matt, thanks for sitting in. That was a blast.
Loved it, Rob. Thanks so much for the opportunity.
Glad you could be here with us. Glad you could spend part of your Wednesday night listening with us. Tonight's game has been a production of the Roncalli Media Network. The executive producer is Gary Armbruster. Our great video crew tonight, Ashley Geyer is our director, Max Mendel, our producer, Lauren Boone handling the graphics in her usual excellent way, Nathan Lyle handling the camera, and Stefan Wells, our supervising producer. I want to thank our video crew. Tonight was our last video sports broadcast of the school year, and they have done a great job all season long. So I want to give that group again some extra kudos and thank them for all of their efforts, not just for tonight, but for all throughout this second semester. Tonight's game, again, has been a production of the Roncalli Media Network. Executive producer Gary Armbruster. Our final totals tonight: Guerin Catholic 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, and 4 left. Roncalli 12 runs, 8 hits, no errors, and 7 left. With the loss, Guerin Catholic drops to 9-16. Royals improved to 6-16 and 9-0 in the league with the win. Tanner Hudspeth's the winning pitcher. He improves to a team best 5-1. Davis Wagner is the losing pitcher for Guerin Catholic. Time of the game, 2 hours and 12 minutes before a crowd of 93. Till we talk to you on Tuesday night, again, tonight's broadcast has been a production of the Roncalli Media Network. Until we talk to you Tuesday night, on behalf of our entire Roncalli Media Network crew, my partner Matt Donovan, I'm Rob Brown, saying so long, everybody.